Welcome to the Omega Files on the Games Tavern. Grab a flashlight and join us in the deepest, dankest recesses of the asylums and for a tour most horrifying and exciting.
David's head is huge.
Survive if you don't go mad.
Did he just lean in?
Now, before we get into our story, the Elder Gods have demanded that we give you this information. If you are watching us live here on Twitch, please make sure to follow us. It's free and it helps support all of the Games Tavern shows. If you are catching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss when our episodes get posted.
Please understand that we have a couple of content warnings that are in no particular order of importance. You must pay attention to these: abuse, animal death, self-harm, suicide, gratuitous violence, needles, kidnapping, death, blood, mental illness, tentacles, mutations, shrubberies, insects, birds, cats, dogs, drug usage, chemicals, chemical usage, radiation, firearms, explosions, interrogations, clowns, arson, threatening, mechanical implementations, and memory loss, like things we forgot to add to the list. Also, the Omega Files stream will feature several points in the broadcast where you decide what part of the narrative will be. That's right. You get to vote in the chat to determine an effect somewhere in tonight's investigation.
And remember, guys, if you have Amazon Prime, you already got yourself a free Prime gaming subscription. So please use that subscribe and support everyone on this cast and all the tech goblins helping out as well. And you also get access to sub-only emotes, and we got a lot of cool animated ones as well. And also a special subscriber-only channel on the Games Tavern Discord. And Guy, what you got about Overhead Games?
Well, I want to give a giant thank you to Overhead Games for sponsoring the show. Overhead Games makes the Epic Character Generator, which is a great piece of software that you can help flesh out characters in your own game. Check them out today at overheadgames.com. Today, we're giving away a modern Overhead Games Epic Character Generator.
Very good. And let's get down to business. So we are going to start with a very brief introduction to your characters, and then we will move into the show itself. Sholem, please tell us about Steve Irwin.
Well, Steve Irwin is an importer. He is in the animal business, but not in the good animal business. He's a counterfeiter to boot. So he's in his mid to late 30s and definitely has the physique of an ex-rugby player.
Very good. Moose, Nick.
Well, Moose, also Jack Klein, but goes by Moose, and he's a large man, about 6'5", got a barrel chest and some suave, slick black hair. Tends to be wearing some nice suits and whatnot. And despite his physique, he's a pretty calm and relaxed individual. Comes from the background of bouncing in California and some pretty high-end clubs. And well, a few mistakes here and there has led him to be joined with the group that I'm about to be with today.
So Moose, who's the most famous person you ever tossed out of a club?
I think it was Charlie Sheen.
He deserved it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Booker. Guy, tell us about Booker.
Gary Booker is an antiquarian who stands just north of 6 foot. He's a slight individual. He has spent his life looking at some of the oldest things that people can buy, as well as some of the oldest conspiracies that people can tune into. He's convinced that birds aren't real. The governor of Oregon is Bigfoot, and many, many other completely true things.
Completely. All righty, and last but not least, Sean, tell us about Tom Jones.
Tom Jones is an entertainer and lounge singer from Las Vegas, Nevada. No relation to the other. You might think so. I would say that the correlation between the two is not common, but it's not unusual. That's right. He's definitely sort of B-string, works late nights on weekdays, almost perpetually hungover. And if he had one conspiracy theory to believe in, it's that NASA killed Michael Jackson because they were tired of him walking backwards every time someone Googled moonwalk. So, it's just, he's loosely strung together with chain smoking and whiskey. So, he's not seen the best of times, and He thwarts the actual Tom Jones for stealing his potential thunder.
So what was the song Tom Jones stole from Tom Jones?
Oh, Sex Bomb.
Oh, okay.
Sex Bomb is definitely
Fair
one.
enough. Fair enough.
He just rolled up one day. He was like, "Hey, what's new, Pussycat?" And there was a bunch of good banter, and by the end of it, I was ruined. Ruined.
Fair enough. So sorry for you.
It's okay.
So let's start with perhaps the fifth member of this show, or sixth, if you don't count me, which is, of course, the Astrovan. Moose, tell us about this Astrovan and where does it reside and what is its place in your heart and life?
Everyone in their life's got to have a rock to lean on. They got to have that support. And Moose's 1998 Astrovan is that. It's was given to him by a sweet old lady that plays a very special part in his life. And it's his solidarity of peace and refuge, his home on wheels. It's got the full kit. It's lifted, off-road tires. It's got the gaudy roll bars on the side and the grill kit. And oh man, and it's, if anyone saw it, they'll be like, wow, get that thing away from my yard. But to Moose, it's amazing. And yeah.
Is it literally your home, Moose?
It is. If you, the back of it is gutted out and it is a livable environment. There's
Nice.
It's got the two front seats and the back is actually like has like a little pop out shower area. It's got a little sleeping cot you can pull out, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, this is
Nice. Very
Hashtag
nice.
van life.
oh yeah.
Indeed. Early adopter. So do you have a painting on the side of it?
He's actually kept it black.
Okay.
Yeah, the entire thing is black. You know, he's had a few times we wanted to paint it, but you know, what kind of art could you put on an Astrovan that's not going to diminish it?
Fair enough. And what city does this Astrovan usually reside in?
Well, he does most of his work out of San Diego.
Okay.
He's got a nice little viewpoint, little off-road viewing area where he'll park, you know, probably bring down the property value a little bit, but he doesn't care about that.
Fair enough. All righty. And Steve, what city are you in? Where do you call home?
Atlantic City, of course.
Oh, perfect. All righty. Tom Jones, Vegas?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay. And lastly, Booker, where is home for you?
Houston, Texas, the heart of all conspiracy theories.
Fair enough and true. All righty. So each of you is returning to your home or your van, and you feel a pinprick in the back of your neck. And then everything goes dark. And you find yourself in a kind of a fugue or dream state. And you're very, very cold. And your senses are awakened by the sound of a drop of water landing on a hard surface. Your eyes begin to flutter open, and you see passing above you murky looking lights as if they are obscured by fog or something else, passing over you at a regular rhythm. You can feel the cold stone of a floor scraping your legs and your feet and your heels of your feet, and probably some of your back too. It feels and seems like you might be being dragged along a cold stone floor. And this goes on. Your muscles are very, very stiff and your joints hurt and you can't really move your head. And you feel like perhaps this is sleep paralysis. This might be what they've always described as something that you can view and experience and understand, but can't get yourself away from. The lights continue to pass overhead, like souls fleeing past you towards Hades. And finally you hear a thump, and the door, you find yourself passing through two doors, perhaps in a medical building, or perhaps a coroner's office. It's better lit here, and you see there are many lights, bright, almost too bright to keep your eyes open, and you're roughly lifted up onto a metal table. You can feel the metal is colder even than the stone was. And You can see shadows that look maybe like people moving around outside of your periphery of your vision. You hear the clanking and tinkling of metal instruments, perhaps on a metal tray or on the table itself. And you feel a gentle pulling on your body down near your stomach and your legs. And you're not really sure. Maybe someone's grabbing your skin and pulling on it. You're not sure. And you probably want to see more. And you start to try to tilt your head up and loosen your neck and get your muscles to work and flexible enough so that you can actually see what's going on. But you're so cold and so stiff. The effort is not futile, but very difficult. You continue to see these shadows moving around down near your waist and your groin and your legs. And now that you look at them, they're kind of short. They're not regular tall people. Perhaps some small people have accosted you. Yeah, Booker, you've heard of that. You know that there are carnies who accost people. That's the ticket. And you continue to try to tilt your head and see something, anything to make this end. You tilt your head a little bit farther up and you can see them now, and they're looking at you, but they have blank faces without features. And they continue doing what they're doing, whatever it is. You hear a wet as something wet and soft is dropped onto a tray that one of them is holding. Did that come out of you? You don't know. You finally are getting your head to the point where you can tilt it up and maybe look a little bit at what's going on. The fear paralyzes you, but your desire to know drives you forward. You finally get your neck craned up to the point where you can look down your own chest and see what it is. And what you see are three short, thin, frail-looking creatures with large heads and black eyes who all turn and look at you. And their mouths kind of appear as they point at you. You see that your body has been cut open from your groin all the way up to where your heart might be or close to it. And your skin is pulled back and you can see ribs and blood and organs. And as in your dream, in your paralysis, you begin to scream, you actually wake up. But you're still cold. Looking around, you see the familiar environs of your bathroom. You're laying in a bathtub on a bed of ice. And here we start the game. Booker, tell me about your bathroom.
My bathroom in my home?
Yes.
It is a marble floor with a nice onyx counter. It's got two different sinks for when he eventually finds somebody to live in holy conspiracy with.
Nice.
It's got a stand-up shower in the corner and then a nice little jacuzzi.
Okay. Clean?
Very
Clean? Very
Yep.
good. So you're fastidious.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Tom Jones, tell me about your bathroom.
Well, I've determined that I have to stop going to Tequila Tuesdays at Circus. That makes for a rough time no matter what. First time waking up in a bathtub full of ice, though. Secondly, because it's been so long since I've used the bathtub.
Fair.
Definitely more of a layout like a motel, like one of those like strip mall almost esque motels.
Okay.
A lot of rust, discolored grout. I don't see so much that I have an infestation of cockroaches so much as I do a bunch of tiny roommates. You know, very Joe's apartment, but without the intelligence. Yeah, so this is being in ice. It's probably the cleanest my bathtub has been, and probably even cleaner than most of the water that comes out of these pipes. So
Very well.
cold, but you know, Not the
Oh.
least sanitary thing to happen in this place.
Okay. Steve Irwin, tell us about your bathtub.
Oh, well, my bathtub is, of course, a jacuzzi for 4. Big, beautiful bathtub. It's gonna take a lot of ice. But there is a waterfall shower, and of course, nice commode because, well, gotta have that. Well, waking up in this pool of ice, I feel like I'm back playing rugby, and what happened? I get knocked out, and proceed to look around.
Very good. And Moose, probably most interestingly, tell us what would pass for a bathtub in your life.
Oh, there's a lot of activities that a van cannot provide. And for that, I have the amazing 88 years old Mrs. Thumble, Helen Thumble.
Okay.
In the sprawling city of Carlsbad, where there's now multi-million-dollar houses, there is a very old single-story, fallen apart house of a old lady, sweet as candy, that is not going to sail back to the city. And she has adopted me in from a very young age. So any cooking, washing needs, and the bathroom would be one of a freestanding bathtub. The 1980s floral wallpaper, stuff that you can't get off your walls, glued on, right? And kind of falling apart, roof coming in, cracking a little bit.
Perfect.
And I would probably be sitting there with my legs and my upper back sticking out because the bathtub's too small for me.
Absolutely. Fair enough. All righty. So let's roll back to Guy, to Booker. Tell me what you're going to do. Oh, let me tell you, all of you look down at yourselves as you come awake from this terrible dream. And yes, you do see you have what appears to be about an 18-inch long incision that runs from your right hip down to under your left rib that looks like it's been stitched with perhaps craft twine from Walmart. It's not the greatest stuff ever. And so at this point, normally I'll be doing a lot of your sanity rolls for you or keeping track of it. And so we're going to kind of mix and match that. But on this one, I'm going to ask you to make a sanity roll. And so go ahead and make that roll, guys. And if you make it, give me a thumbs up.
23.
And if you miss it, give me a thumbs down so I can. Joel? Okay, so if you missed it, Moose and Tom, please roll a d6. Booker and Steve, you take 1 point of sand damage, which I am recording. Moose, you got 3?
Right.
All right. And Tom Jones, how much did you take? Tom Jones,
6.
How much? 6?
6.
Okay.
6.
All righty. Very good. So you are all clearly you have been the victim of some sort of abduction and assault, right? And so let's start back with Booker and say, Booker, what do? You are in your tub. You are naked, except for the twine that your abductor left you with.
I knew I got too close to the truth. I bet this was Ronald Reagan or the Chupacabra. I don't know.
Or both.
Chupa Reagan. I'm just gonna get myself out of the tub, see if I can walk, get over to my medicine cabinet, pop a couple of ibuprofen, get some gauze out.
Alrighty. So you will find that you are very, very tender and very, very frail, and kind of not the normal capability you would have to keep your balance and such. So you're really wrung out. Okay. And so what that means in game terms is all of your physical abilities, anything that requires strength or dexterity or constitution, are currently functioning at half. All right.
Okay.
So
I'm going to do some burpees.
Yeah. So just moving around is not easy. Yeah. Just moving around is really difficult right now. And it's painful as hell. You begin moving and getting out of the tub and you see a little bit of that. You know how blood runs kind of thin when it's just coming out of a cut?
Yep.
That's what you got. It comes kind of streaming out of your cut a little bit as you move, and the incision gets disturbed. But you're stepping out of the tub, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Please make me a dexterity roll.
Okay. And that's a percentile?
Yes,
Gonna
yes,
be
sir.
percentile?
Yes. Everything we do, unless I otherwise say, will be percentile and roll under the number.
That is a 41, and my dexterity is 65.
All right. So right now your dexterity is operating at 33 because it's
Okay.
at half. So in fact fail.
I failed.
And as you put your foot out of the tub, it slides across the floor, and you kind of spin and slam down on the edge of the tub, right where your incision in your chest is, and it hurts like hell. So you will take 2 hit points of damage, and for just a moment you are kind of paralyzed with the pain of what's going on in your body.
Okay.
So let's move on to Tom for a moment. We'll come back to Booker's bathroom. Tom,
Yeah.
what you gonna do?
Well, given the sanity check, I guess I would honestly, first order of operations would probably be throw up, worry about popping a stitch from having thrown up, which makes me throw up a second time.
Alrighty.
Like, just probably is the order of operations.
All right, so you begin to throw up, and make me let's just make a general luck roll this time.
Ah, very good. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
What'd you get?
So 89 out of 60.
Alrighty, so yeah, you are unlucky as you're throwing up, and the heaving and the movement of your chest causes you to lose a hit point just from throwing up. You see blood streaming out of the wound, and as you see it, just as you kind of gotten done, you begin throwing up again.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alrighty.
Good.
We'll come back to Steve Irwin then.
Steve will look down and go, now how did I
Not
cut
again.
myself?
Not again.
Now how did I cut myself? He'll move gingerly to see how much movement he's got before he gets up, because well, he's used to having stitches. And then if he thinks it's safe, he will sit up on the side of the tub and go, Jessica, where are you? And I assume I hear nothing. No
You hear
return.
nothing.
Why do I even keep her around? And then he'll
Is she your housekeeper?
no, girlfriend.
Girlfriend, okay.
He'll fling his legs, well, not fling, but gingerly move his legs over the side of the tub and try and figure out how he's going to reach for a towel, because obviously he's going to have to put some pressure on this, 'cause even I know that's not a good stitch.
Very good.
So,
you gonna try
he's-
to stand?
Yeah, because he doesn't know any better.
Okay. Please make me a dexterity roll at half your dexterity.
I got an odd 6.
That's really good. So your foot begins to slide out from under you, but it bumps up against the bath mat and gives you some traction and stops you from splitting and falling. So you are on wobbly but solid legs for right now.
Oh, that's not good. I will, if I can get to the towel, I'll get to the towel and just try and apply pressure. But
You can get to the towel. How big
he'll-
is your bathroom?
What's that?
How big is your bathroom?
It's pretty big. So getting to the medicine cabinet where the whiskey and Vicodin is pretty far away.
Okay. Well, you get your towel and you look across the room towards the medicine cabinet and think that perhaps you should have gone for a smaller house.
Yes, it probably would have been a good idea.
Yeah, the American dream's not serving you well right now.
No.
All righty, and finally back over to Moose. Moose, you wake up in the tub. The house is quiet. You're not sure where your lady is.
Moose immediately starts to fight off the beginnings of onset hyperventilating.
Okay. Nervous, fearful.
Moose knows people in real life who do this to people, and he has not been as careful not to associate himself. So right now he's going through a list of who could I have pissed off in the last month. I paid off my debts, I got out, and then he's immediately going to switch to protective mode because that's his like
Okay.
biggest motivation, and he's gonna go Helen, and he is immediately he's going if he's gonna try to get up and go find Helen and see if she's still safe.
Okay, so leaving the bathroom and trying to go find where she is in her house.
If I-
and this, go ahead.
I'll say, is my clothes anywhere in the bathroom?
No, sir. No.
Okay, I'm grabbing a toothbrush, breaking it against the counter of the so it's just the breaking out the brush, and I'm walking through the house.
I applaud your heroism. So first I'll need you to make a dexterity roll at half your dexterity to see if you slip on the floor as you're trying to move around.
Okay, 14.
Alrighty, you are good to go. You get your feet out and actually put your feet on the bath mat. It's a very nice bath mat with roses and lilies on it. And her name, it looks like perhaps she crocheted it herself.
So, Helen.
All you can hear is the tick tock of her grandfather clock. The house is deadly silent.
I'm just going to close the bathroom door myself back inside of it, and just try to make reality of this for a second, and just try to mentally understand what the hell is going on right now.
Try to get your head together.
For however long that takes me.
Fair enough. Alrighty, back over to Booker, I believe. Booker?
Just laying on the floor, groaning. You know what? I deserve this. I shouldn't have been so nosy. My father warned me. My mother warned me. All right, I'm just gonna slowly slide myself along the bathroom floor. Is the light on, or?
The light is not on.
Okay, I clap. As a fan of the antiques, I've got the clapper in my house. In every
It comes
room.
on.
Is there anything different about my bathroom?
No, your bathroom looks really nice. In fact, it's pristine still.
Okay, I'm just gonna go find like the bath mat, put myself on that, and just slide
Absolutely.
myself.
Very good. So you get on the bath mat and start crawling, basically sliding around. And you're thinking this probably isn't your most dignified day, but it is good and it's protecting your health. So
It's fine. I don't care much for dignity.
fair enough. So where are you going to go?
Slide into my bedroom, and I'm going to get dressed, because if I'm going to die, it's not going to be naked.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, you can pull some clothes down. And are you going to dress on the floor? Or are you going to try to get up on the bed?
Just on the floor.
Okay.
Just
So you
wherever
begin-
it's comfortable.
Completely fair. So you begin dressing on the floor. You will, as you're dressing, you twist and turn and put your stuff on, and you will find that you lose a little bit more blood from the scar or from the incision. Begins to leak out just a little bit, just a drip, and you will take one more hit point of damage.
Okay.
And we are going to go to Tom. Tom, you stop vomiting.
And I will try to extricate myself from this tub. Probably, I would assume not gracefully.
Are you trying to stand, or are you just flinging yourself out onto the floor?
It's more of an indelicate flop,
Okay.
I would say.
Alrighty. So let's make a dexterity roll.
Oh, hey, I actually did well on that one. Actually, I did very well on that one. I got a 2.
That's really good. Somehow you flop out and manage to land on your back and don't actually do any more damage to yourself, which
good.
seems a miracle. But
good.
there you are. You're laying on your back, staring up at the ceiling, and there you go.
Yeah. I'd normally be grateful for the cool floor, except for the bathtub full of ice. So it's just all kind of
Well,
the
the floor is relatively warm compared to the ice, so
yeah. It's rather pleasant is a bit of a stretch, but you know what?
There you
Yeah, it's more comfortable than I've been in a minute.
Very good. So what you gonna do now that you're on the floor?
I will make my short distance in a sort of. I'm gonna try to get to hands and knees to try to crawl to the bathroom door in order to exit said bathroom. It's not a far distance. It's a very small bathroom.
Very good.
Yeah.
So crawling on your hands and knees, you will still need to make a dexterity check,
That works
but
for me.
you will be at advantage on this one, which means you get to roll 2 of the 10s dice and take the better roll.
Really glad I did, because the first one was an 80. So that is 31.
And what is your dexterity normally?
55.
So you still fail, but just
Oh,
by a
right.
bit.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible, horrible, very bad fail, but it's a fail. And you do, as you're crawling along, one of your hands hits an old sock that you left in the bathroom and slides, and you face plant on the floor. And
Sounds
you
about
manage to you take another point of damage, and you can feel the incision tearing just a little bit against the Walmart craft twine.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So Steve Irwin, tell us what's going on at the Casa de Irwin.
Steve is going to use the wall. It's going to make the trip a little longer. To go around the edge of the room, holding onto the wall, whatever he can hold on to, sink, back at the toilet, and maneuver. Since he doesn't see, I assume I don't see a phone or anything in here. It was just me and the ice.
Now that's a great question. Make yourself a luck roll.
Oh God.
Okay.
I got a 66 out of 70, so I just made it.
Just made it. You actually do see your phone right there in the bathroom, over and under the medicine cabinet.
Well, that's where I gotta go.
Fair enough.
And
So
I'll baby step my way over there.
fair enough. So baby stepping and using the wall, we're going to say you get to roll your dexterity at normal and at advantage. So it's your normal dex score and an advantage on it.
Okay, I made it on the first roll. So.
Alrighty. So yeah, it takes you what seems like forever, but you do make it over there, and you really want to reconsider this large bathroom house
Yes.
at this
Or at least
point.
put in card or something.
Yes, fair enough. Yeah, you might need one of those things that people use to get up their stairs. Just have it at your bathroom to wheel you around the bathroom. All right, but anyway, you've got whatever's in your medicine cabinet and your Vicodin and your
Well, I'm more
phone.
interested in the phone at this point.
Okay, you've got the
so-
phone.
Think to myself, well, this is why you never bring work home with you. And I'll dial 911.
The dispatch comes on and says, where were you at again?
I'm in Atlantic City.
Atlantic City? Okay. Atlantic City 911 may help you.
Yes, I need an ambulance. I have been apparently stabbed very badly, and I woke up in a bathtub.
Oh no.
Of ice.
Are you free bleeding?
I'm applying pressure, but I don't know how long the stitches are going to hold. They're twine.
Someone stabbed you and stitched you?
I don't understand. I woke up.
That's damned odd. Okay. I see your address here and she reads back your address. Is that correct?
That is correct.
We should have a unit there within 7 minutes. Do you need me to stay on the phone and talk you through this? Are you feeling faint? Do you feel like you may be in shock?
No, I feel like I need some whiskey.
Have you
And he
taken?
hangs up.
Okay. All righty. And back to Moose. Moose.
Okay, so Moose by now has put his plan into action, and his first part is you've
got your head together, Moose. So I'm going to say your next sand check, you get advantage on it.
Okay. But I'm probably about to ruin it because Helen's got one of those old medicine cabinets with like prescriptions from back to like 2006, with like half bottles fulls, and he's just gonna they're old. He's gonna take like 4 Motrins and probably like 4 Vicodins.
Yeah.
And
So make me a spot hidden while you're looking at that.
It's gonna be a 12.
Yeah, that's really good. The thing that strikes you is all of her medicines are out of date by varying amounts of time. Some of them are a month over, some, are 2 to 3 years over. So she clearly is one of these people who hoards her drugs and keeps using them and doesn't believe they ever go bad. So there are a couple different bottles of the thing you're looking for. Are you going to try to find the most recent and potent one?
I'm probably not that concerned with that right now.
Fair enough.
If I see the label name, I'm gonna just take an extra deuce because I know it's probably old. I know how
Very
it
good.
is.
Okay, you find it, you take it.
I would imagine I'm walking out of the bathroom with probably an extra large Nirvana t-shirt and probably some bloomers that I just picked on, so I'm not.
Does she have a Nirvana t-shirt?
Oh, she has a pile of dirty clothes in the bathroom, so I just dug through it and threw something on.
Perfect. Yeah. So she doesn't, unless she's got like a Nirvana groupie or something, you're probably looking at something like an apron with some lace and stuff on it, and maybe some bloomers.
There we go. That's what I'm doing. And next, I'm gonna look for my clothes. My clothes have my keys, my Glock, and my phone, which I need all three of those right now.
All right. So you walk out of the bathroom. What's the first room when you come out of the bathroom?
First room is going to be the old style where the bathroom goes into a walk-in closet that connects to the bedroom.
Nice. Okay. So you walk through the closet. You don't see your stuff in the closet, obviously, into the bedroom, and you see her laying on the bed face down, but you do not see your keys or anything else, or any of your stuff.
I'm just going to run my hand next to Helen's mouth and just say, Miss Thumble, are you okay?
She doesn't respond. Are you checking for breath?
Checking for breath to see if she's breathing.
Okay. Let's make a medicine check, and you're at advantage because this is a pretty easy thing to do.
I make it by 2.
Nice. And I do want to say there are times, guys, that I will ask for a check that isn't necessarily pass fail, but is more qualitative. It tells me how long it takes you to do a thing rather than whether you can do a thing. And this was one of those examples.
Never mind. I'm sorry. My medicine is 1, so that's a fail.
Okay, but you did roll a 2, right?
I rolled a 38. I was looking at first aid.
Okay. So it basically takes you several kind of stressful minutes before you finally kind of feel her breath and are sure you're feeling it, and it's not you tremoring from what you've been through, and it's not the stress that you're actually going through that's fooling your senses. But yes, she is alive, and as you have your hand there at her mouth trying to sense whether she's alive, you do notice she also has a pinprick in the back of her neck.
I'm just gonna wake her up gently.
She doesn't seem to be waking up. Do you want to try to roll her over?
I'll roll her over.
Okay. You roll her over, and she's just in her bathrobe, and she appears to be sleeping soundly. You gonna check to see if she's got a scar?
No, I wouldn't. Moose wouldn't think about that right now.
Okay.
And he's just what he needs to know is that he has told Helen many times that that if he ever tells her that you need to take a trip to Big Bear, that means she needs to get out of town for a little while. So okay. I'm gonna put a note and say, Helen, I'm so sorry. You need to take that trip to Big Bear. I will let you know when it's good to come back.
Alrighty. Very well done.
She's got some friends up there, little cabin, and I am gonna go back to looking for my keys and my pants and my clothes.
Very good. So you'll move to the next room, and what is that room?
The next room is a long hallway, where you have the and this is one of those old houses where they still had the vacuum cleaner wall outlets. Mm-hmm. You know, the one you can pull out. Yeah, it's that one of those. Yeah. It's been clogged for like 6 years.
Perfect.
But it has that closet with that entire mechanism, water heater on the other side, and then the hallway ends up into the kitchen, and the kitchen is half kitchen, half sunroom, and then also the front door.
Perfect. So you begin walking down that hallway very carefully, I assume using the walls and furniture to try to make sure you don't fall, or you gonna go fast. Are you urgent or are you careful?
No, I think I'm at 3 points of contact right now with a hand on the wall, and I think subconsciously, my right hand wouldn't leave my stomach because I'm just like,
Fair.
I'm just waiting for my organs just to fall on the floor right now.
Completely fair. Yeah, fair enough. All righty, we'll come back to you in a moment. Tom Jones.
I'll try to make my way into my main living space,
Okay.
which is basically just a one-room type living room slash bedroom slash kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll probably try to push a couple of like empty like Jack Daniel's bottles out of the way as I make my
They
way
clink
toward.
and clatter as you move them away.
I'm gonna try to find something to, at the very least, a shirt. I don't care if I'm like full on Winnie the Pooh from the waist down kind of thing, but just something to cover the leaking wound. Yeah.
You find a shirt. The first shirt you grab is what?
It's a white T-shirt that says Enron Summer Intern Program 1997.
Very good. Okay. So you have your shirt on, and do you have a cell phone or are you just a landline?
Just the landline.
Okay. So your landline is in this room if you wish to follow that path.
Yeah, I think I'll at the very least I'll try to call down to like sort of what would be the front desk of my sort of live-in motel.
Okay.
And just kind of just at the very least start off by asking frantically like, what day is it? What day is it? What time is it?
You ring them, and the guy who is the night clerk on the front desk, it takes a few rings before he gets to the phone, but he picks it up and goes, front desk, may I help you?
Eddie, what day is it? What time is it?
Looks like about 1:15 in the morning, and today, let's see, that's after midnight. That means, I think it's Friday.
Friday. What day was it when I blacked out? That probably would be helpful information.
You were coming home from work Thursday.
Aha.
Or whatever you were doing out that passes for work in your life.
Probably working to a crowd of 4, you know.
Yes.
Business has been slow.
Yeah, you were probably opening for Bill Murray's Lounge Singer.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yep. Row, row, row your boat. How are we
There you
doing
go.
that? Gently down the stream. Okay.
So he says, you need anything else?
Probably. And then I'll just hang up.
Fair enough. And with that, we'll cut back to Steve Irwin.
Steve will endeavor to move into the bedroom with his phone, and I'm gonna get comfortable on the bed, sit down on the side of the bed and wait.
All righty.
They're gonna have to come to me, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna find clothes while I'm like this.
Fair enough.
But I will pull out my little monkey's paw out of the drawer next to my bed. A little monkey's paw that's mostly hairless because it's so old.
True to their word, they do get there in about 7 minutes, and they knock on the front door, and your front door is locked. So are you going to make the trip over to the front door to unlock it, or are you going to urge them to bust it in?
I'll just tell them to break it down.
All right. They seem excited by that. And they begin busting the heck out of your door with the battering ram, and they all kind of rush in after they've done that. They look like they were expecting something really bad to be going on in the house, but when they see you, they're just like, we're emergency services. Can we help you?
I'll just pull
you show it, and they all go, oh!
Yeah, you always remember your first time waking up in ice.
Did you do that to yourself?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay. I don't know how this happened.
Ooh,
something happened. I felt a sting in the back of my neck. Next thing I know, I wake up in ice.
Okay, well, please don't move. And they begin taking care of you and getting you stabilized to the point where they feel they can move you. They bring out the gurney.
I need my man purse. It's over there.
One of them picks up what looks like, I guess, is it like a
just like a
fanny pack? Like a fanny pack?
Kind of like a fanny pack, but it's a man purse.
Do you mean this fanny pack?
That's close enough. Yes.
Okay. He tosses it. He puts it on the gurney next to you.
Put my little monkey's paw in there.
Perfect. And they will wheel you out of the house, and you can hear them chattering on the radio as they're taking you. They're all aflutter with what's gone on. And then we cut back to Moose. who's walking down the hallway, holding his insides in his mind. And you get to the kitchen and you see your phone on the table in the kitchen. Thank you, audience.
So I'm gonna grab the phone. I'm going to immediately call Glavny, which is pretty much the owner of the club I worked at, but also the head of operations for the Russian mob in this area.
Nice, very nice. Okay, so you ring him up because and he answers the phone. He says, "Rusko's Pizza."
Glavny, привет. Listen, is there a hit on me right now?
Wait 1 sec. Let me check. And you can hear him shuffling through papers and typing on his computer. And he comes back. He goes, "No, there's no hit on you right now. You are good."
Fuck! And I'm gonna just say, okay, I'm gonna be out of town for a little bit. Das vidania, and I'm gonna hang the phone up.
Your phone rings back about a minute later.
I'm gonna answer it.
He goes, "This is Glavny. You do you need help? Is there something wrong? Why you think you being hit? Is there some way we can make money at this?"
Glavny, I appreciate you, but I know your help isn't free, and I'll consider it. If I absolutely need, I'll call you, but I don't know right now, man. Just let me get some shit together right now.
You think it might have been Charlie Sheen has done something to you? We can certainly take him out.
No, I appreciate it. I feel like right now Moose has done research since the event that he saw, and he has seen it, and he's doing everything in his head not to believe that's what it is, the supernatural.
Fair.
And he was actually disappointed when they said there's no hit, because that means, that's not answer his question. So he's just gonna go, all right, is the dock open?
The doctor is always open for friends and family.
Okay. I'll be there in 30 minutes. Expect me. Thank you, Gladly.
Very well. We will do that. To see you soon.
Okay.
And he hangs up.
I'm gonna look out the window, and is my van in the driveway?
Your van is in the driveway.
Thank God. Okay. I'm going to out of my self-comfort of not wanting to see this stitch shop anymore, I'm probably gonna hopefully try to find some gauze wrap or something like that to just wrap it up under my shirt.
She has some very nice napkins that her mother passed down to her.
Done.
That's probably the closest thing, unless you want to traverse all the way back to the bathroom.
No, I'm just gonna, whatever I see that looks like it'll work, I'm gonna wrap it around me.
Yeah, she's got napkins and saran wrap. That's probably your best bet.
Oh yeah, there we go. Do that, and then is rest of my clothing here, or was it just my phone?
Just your phone. They did not leave your clothing.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna look for my my keys anywhere, and if
they
I'm
are
not,
right there next to your phone.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the keys and I'm gonna run out to the van, and I'm gonna start heading out to Atmosphere, which is the club that Glavny works at.
Perfect. You head out the front door. You're gonna lock it behind you?
Probably not. I'm such a rush right now. I'm not collected right now, and
so you come running out the front door. I need you to make me a dexterity check, please, as you come down the stairwell or the stairs in front of her house. It is, of course, at half your dex. Oh, you had advantage, so you may use that if you wish, but it's at half your dex.
No, that's gonna be a fail.
Okay, so you come running out. You're in a rush. You got a lot in your mind. You're wondering what the doctor's going to be like tonight, because sometimes he can be difficult. And you come rushing down, and you actually hit Old Man Withers, who is the neighbor who appears to be walking his French poodle. and you spin off and hit the ground. You will take a point of damage as your wound stretches and feels like it's ripping just a bit, and blood comes out. And old man Withers is looking down at you like, "Hey, are you? What the hell? You pervert! You're wearing women's clothes."
Fuck off, old man Withers, and I'm gonna stand up.
I've never.
I'm gonna say to the Astro Man.
He's shaking his fist at you. You're the ruination of America. But you're in your van, you start the thing, and it's going, and we'll come back to you in a sec.
Put on the seatbelt.
Booker.
Yes. So I'm getting dressed. I am just going to throw on some slacks, a black shirt that won't show if I bleed through it, a nice red vest.
You
Again,
look good for someone who's been through what you've been through. You look good.
And then I take about 3 cummerbunds and I wrap them around to apply pressure.
Nice, very smart.
After that, I'm just going to make my way downstairs where the last place I remember seeing my cell phone would be in the kitchen.
It is in the kitchen, but it's not where you normally leave it.
Okay. I make my way down the stairs. I've got one of those sliding seats at the top of the stair for like old people, that antique thing.
The one Steve Irwin needs in his bathroom.
Yeah, it only goes about a quarter of the way, and then it stops because I've never used it before. So I still have to get up and hobble my way down there.
Very nice.
Is my bird still here?
If you have a bird, it's still here.
I have a pet cockatiel, Big Melissa 2 Electric Boogaloo. I had Big Melissa, the original, but she died, so. Okay, my bird's here, so all signs of life are normal.
Your house is pristine. In fact, normally the bird would create a little bit of a mess around it, even if it's not like poop. It would be like feathers and stuff like that. But even the area around the bird is really pristine. So that the house may have been cleaned within the past hour or two.
That was nice. All right, I make my way into the kitchen and look for my phone.
All right, you find it.
Oh, great. I am going to. I don't trust 911.
Okay.
At all. So I'm going to call my primary healthcare physician, Dr. Rashida Patel, on her non-emergency cell phone line.
Okay. And is Rashida Patel Indian, Pakistani? What is she?
She's Indian.
Okay. You call her up. Is this a normal thing for you to call her on her personal phone?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm sure he has a touch of hypochondria.
Okay. She so it rings 1 or 2 times. She picks up, says, "This is Rashida." Hello, Booker.
Dr. Patel, hypothetically speaking, if somebody were to remove my kidney, what do I do about that?
Well, Gary, or Guy, it is not really an organ you must have because you have 2 of them.
Perfect. Can you call me in a script for antibiotics to CVS?
I would need to see you, of course.
I'm going to send her a picture of my wound. I'm just going to take a picture with my phone and then
you hear a string of surprised expletives in Indian. in Hindi.
Yeah, so I slipped while I was shaving. Please
she says, "I will get you a 3-day script."
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then I'll go, "Okay, bye, I love you." I hang up. Damn it, it's frozen.
Looks like we will our keeper here. There we go.
Sorry.
Ending with the old ones again, were you, David?
Yeah, I tell you, it's really weird because I've got 2 internets and I still don't have enough. She says she'll get you a 3-day script, Booker, and that she will call it into CVS for you. She says you really should go. You really should go see someone about that. That is a horrible looking wound.
Yeah, I saw you. That's why you're the best doctor.
No. I mean, really see someone who can give you antibiotics and restitch it. Is that craft twine from Michael's?
So it's not Kraft macaroni and I don't really know. I'm sorry. I've lost a lot of blood.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, love you. Bye. I hang up.
How many times have you called her with could be's?
Yes. So are you
Lots.
going over to CVS and getting your prescription?
I'm gonna get all of my stuff together. I've got my phone. I've got my keys. I'm gonna grab a fire poker to help me walk.
Okay.
Also, self-defense.
Fair.
And then I'm just gonna hop in my car and start driving.
All righty.
Towards
So,
CVS.
fair enough. And how far is the CVS?
Probably like a 10-minute drive.
Okay. So we will come back to you in a moment. We are going to go to Tom Jones.
I guess at this point, I'll probably try to find pants of some kind, which will probably be like a pair of like loose basketball shorts, which I don't think
Perfect.
are mine. I don't think
So
are
you
because
have-
I don't sports.
You have a decision to make, Tom. You have that pair of loose basketball pants that you got that were left behind by Yolanda Jones, the WNBA player,
Yep.
after
Makes sense.
after an unusual night for you, and you have the old Michael Jackson pants from Beat It, the red
Ooh.
ones. Yeah, hard decision. So you got to figure out which way you're going to go.
One way to determine. Oh, we're going Michael Jackson pants. That's. I mean, evens or odds, it's Michael Jackson pants. I was.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I had toyed with the John Travolta at the end of Pulp Fiction look, but then I opted for.
Nice.
I mean, I was just like, oh, hey, these aren't as unclean as I expected them to be. So yeah, I'm gonna go
So,
with Michael Jackson pants.
You pull the Michael Jackson pants on, they're a pretty tight fit, and in doing so you exert some force and actually take one more hit point of damage as your wound
Naturally.
opens up a little bit and bleeds again. But man, these things are skin tight and look good.
I was just gonna say it's the price you pay for style is really
They
what that boils down to.
they particularly look good with your Enron intern t-shirt.
Naturally, and the blood is a fairly decent like matching like red color for
It
some of the
is.
accents.
It
So,
is.
it's
The pants,
nice.
yeah, the
It's-
pants won't show any blood for sure.
I'm just trying to accessorize is really what this boils down to. I'm nothing if I'm not stylish.
Nice.
I'm not good at my job. I'm not particularly lucky. I'm definitely not clean, but damn it if I don't look good.
So now that you're dressed, where are you going to go?
I'm gonna walk outside, try to find my a beater of you can call it a car in shape alone. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, your 78 Pacer is in the parking lot and looks to be intact.
oh, good. Yeah, I guess I'll probably try to retrace my steps a little bit and maybe head back toward work just to see if anybody can remember, like, was I acting weird? Like, did I leave on time? Did I leave with
Okay.
anybody? Did anybody follow me out? Like, I'm gonna go like start back at work and see if I can figure out how I A to B.
Okay. Very good. So you're on the road, and we will cut over to Steve Irwin. Steve,
I'm in the medical hands of my insurance company.
they are talking. You can hear that they're trying to pre-certify with your insurance company, even as you're in the ambulance. One of the paramedics apparently is screaming at a customer service rep who's claiming that this can't be a real thing. And so the trip to the hospital ER, the urgent part of the hospital, is not a pleasant one. It's very stressful.
I'm going to make a phone call. I'm going to call my partner, Tattoo. I'm gonna
Okay.
Tell him, Tattoo, I have a medical emergency. I won't be in tomorrow. I'll be back soon. I'll let you know when.
Tell me about Tattoo. What is he like?
Tattoo actually is visiting me right now from South Africa. He's a friend of mine.
Okay.
He is a hunter.
Ah, very good. He says, all right, are you okay?
No, but I'll be all right. I've had worse.
Okay, well, you call me if you need anything, okay?
I will.
Very good. Keep the high life, baby.
Always.
He
Don't
hangs
touch
up.
it that way.
No matter what you say about tattoo, they will always be the iconic Russian pop duo in my head.
Nice.
Nice.
They might be over at Moose's club later, in fact.
I love the idea that his South African friend is just two small white chicks in a trench coat.
Alrighty, we are to Moose. Moose, you fire up the Astrovan and take off on the streets. The trip to the hospital will be 17 miles because she lives in a part of town that is not well serviced and all of its real estate. Residential real estate. So I need you to make me a driving roll. Normally this would not be needed, except that your physical condition is so bad that even normal driving is challenging.
Right. Oh, yep. Good. 39 out of 60.
Very good. So you make it, you avoid a few late night people who are probably drunk driving, and we will come back to you in a second because now we have 3 people on the road. We're going to go to Booker. Booker, you are driving also to the hospital.
Yes, I'm driving a vintage hearse, both because it is old and also because that's just the vehicle that provides the most room for all the antiques I have to transport.
Very good indeed. So as you're heading across town towards the hospital, I need you to make me a driving roll, please.
Okay, I'm sure that is high. 25, then it's not bad.
What's your driving skill?
Drive auto.
At half.
20. Oh, at half?
Okay. Yeah, because it's physical.
So it's a 10.
Okay. So you actually
I want can I use luck? Can I use luck?
If you wish to, you may use luck, yes.
I would like to use luck to succeed because I don't want anything bad to happen to my hearse.
Okay, and how much did you miss by?
15.
Okay. Very good.
And real quick, Keeper, can you burn 2 points of luck for me as well? I didn't half it, and I rolled I would have been low, but I'm going to push my luck by 2 points.
That's fair. That was my fault. I did not tell you.
No worries.
The hearse jogged my memory because I know that they're these big land basses with terrible steering and terrible everything. And I realized, oh yeah, that's going to be a workout. But the Astrovan probably
a lot of
is
them
too.
don't even have power steering.
Yeah. All righty. And we are to, let's see, Tom Jones. You're driving in your AMC Pacer. I need you to roll at half your driving skill, please.
No, I rolled a 99.
So you're driving along in Atlantic City late at
Driving
night.
is, at this point, I've got it in neutral and then letting the turn of the earth do the work. Yeah.
You're driving down the strip towards an urgent care center that you think may be open, and you see a couple of women on the corner, and one of them seems to recognize your car. How, you'll never know. But as you're driving by, she's actually flashing you, and they're yelling, "Hey, Tom!" And your smile says it all because you're looking at them as you go past, and then you turn back and, oh my God, it's a phone pole. And you slam into it and everything goes dark.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
2 more hit points of damage.
Perfect. All right. Down to a
In
nice
fact,
solid.
Sholem is still in the ambulance.
I am in
Moose.
the well-cared hands of a nurse probably by now.
Indeed.
Did you at
Moose,
least have your seatbelt on?
That's a great question.
Look.
Tom Jones, are you a seatbelt wearer?
I would say yes, but given the state of this car, whether or not it would engage or whether it's attached to anything is, it's anyone's guess.
So make me
Basically
a luck roll.
stapled.
Yeah, make me a luck roll, Sean.
Oh, good. Oh, fantastic. Oh, no. Again with the 81.
So as the phone pole's coming towards you, you flash back to that time 2 years ago when you were in Lake Tahoe, and you reached over to pull the seatbelt, and it just kind of, the spring stopped working. And you said, well, F it. And you cut the whole thing off.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. That would have been bad. That would have been good not to have done that.
Yeah.
Add an extra hit point of damage.
Of course, perfect.
I'm so sorry.
No. It honestly, it makes perfect sense.
It does.
This man is not a man who has his life together. And honestly, at this point, with staring down the barrel of 3 remaining hit points, you might not have it together for much longer, so that's fine.
So Sholem, Steve Irwin, you are rolled into the urgent care part, or the ICU, I think it probably, whatever the emergency room is, at that hospital there locally. And as you come in, they stop right outside the hospital, and you see a bunch of people emerge from the shadows. And one of the nurses actually pulls the blankets back to expose your scar, and the people begin taking pictures, and you see one of the other nurses exchanging money with the people. And that goes on.
The money comes to me, not you.
He says, we'll split it with you. We will, really, we will, I swear.
I'll find you.
Anyway, and then they wheel you in after just a few moments delay while they get their pictures.
What is with the voyeurs?
He says, oh, they're some crackpots. They're local conspiracy theorists, but they got good money. It buys.
All right, where's my half?
He
puts his hand out.
He begins counting it out. And come back to me on that when you're next to you. Moose, one more roll, please, on your driving, as you're almost within a mile of the hospital. And the traffic going to the hospital and coming from it has picked up a little bit here late at night.
Oof. Okay, that's half. That's going to be a fail by 8.
Use luck.
So you know the
Use
drill.
luck.
Do you want to make it, or do you want to use luck? Do you want to fail it, or use luck?
Yeah, it's my Astro van. I can't crash the thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to burn 8 points of luck.
You are narrowly able to miss a woman who's crossing at a crosswalk with a not a stroller. What is those things they use? The
Walker.
Baby carriage.
That's it, walker. Thank you.
Walker. Oh,
With a walker, and she just kind of appears on the crosswalk in front of you, and you kind of swerve your van out of the way, and she shakes her fist at you. Goes, young people. Oh, you're not going to the hospital. You're going to the club.
No, so
You
Moose,
you said the club.
Yeah,
That's
no,
my
I'm
bad.
saying the reason why is because, with the jobs that Moose has done, it's always a hit or miss if there's a warrant out for him. But
Completely
a lot
fair.
of these jobs are still under active investigation, so it's always a hit or miss that
Fair.
you might wake up with handcuffs on.
But you did say club, so we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
take
I'm
you
going
to
to
the club.
definitely going to the club.
So you show up, and of course there's a crowd outside, and they're all.
I'm pulling
and you
around
can hear
back.
the music from inside. And yeah, you pull around outside, and you see a couple of the Russian thugs standing out there, and also the doctor kind of standing off to the side smoking a cigarette. And they see you, and they come over to your Astrovan, and one of them kind of leans. Is the window open?
I would keep it closed because right now is that I have been able to acquire quite a bit of cash, and if I want to get this done, I'm going to have to pretty much use all of it to not come out of this any favors.
He knocks on the window.
And I'm just going to roll it down. Hey,
He goes,
Doc.
hey, it's one of the thugs. He says, good evening, Musa. Good to see you. You ready to come in and have the doctor look at you?
All right. Yeah, let's do it. And I'm just gonna step out. And
He helps you out if you'll take it. He'll try to help you if you'll take it.
Yeah, I'll let him help me. I think by now
Okay.
the Viking is probably kicking in, so I'm gonna lose goosey.
Fair enough. So the pain is better for sure, but pain is also a warning symbol. And so as you're moving, let's make one more dexterity roll at half to see if you hurt yourself because you're not getting the pain signals from your body that it's trying to stop you from doing bad things.
Make it by 2.
All righty. So yeah, you come close to stretching and maybe tearing again, but you catch yourself. Your finely honed senses stop you. They walk you up the stairs and into the back room, and they put you into what looks like an old dentist chair or barber's chair. And the doctor puts on his reflector on his head, like he's still using 1950s doctor gear, and he comes in and looks right at you and goes, let's see what we have here. And he begins poking and prodding and poking and prodding. And he will, after about 15 minutes, he will say, I think you probably should actually go to an emergency room. I can give you a little bit of, I can tape you up a bit, but that's a very bad scar. It would potentially infect, and you might find you will lose whatever. What do you think? You wish me to do it and take your chances, or are you going to take the smart path? And we do have a physician in the ER who is on our payroll.
How much?
Oh, for you, $100.
Yeah, set it up. If we can do everything in-house, that'd be preferable.
Very good. Yes, this is a doctor. He normally, he normally makes people have accidents, but tonight he actually helped you.
I'm just
There's
thinking
a
to
hit on
myself.
you?
Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what the fuck did I get myself back into? Like,
And so they go back out and they say, you wish to drive or you want us to? And one of the Russian thugs goes, oh no, we will be driving. He is not worth shit. Look at him. He barely can stand. And they pull up a big old black Cadillac.
make it 300 and bring the physician here if you can.
I do not think we can do that. He is on shift.
Doc, I know you can do anything you need to do. How much will it cost?
I think we can do it for 300. Yes. Get back inside into the chair. Always with you, Moose, it is so difficult. You're so paranoid. If you just killed more of your enemies, you would not have this problem.
Yeah. You guys say that a lot. And
one of the guys standing next to him goes, yeah.
yeah.
That dead enemy never comes back. Anyway, they take you back inside.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna tell Doc what happened without talking about the little men.
Mm-hmm.
and just keep it as
So even the version without the little men, he listens to you in rapt attention, sitting there smoking a cigarette and nonchalantly blowing smoke wherever. Mm-hmm. He doesn't seem to ever read any of the Surgeon General warnings or any of the literature.
Oh, it's a hack shot.
At the end of your story, at the end of your story, he looks at you and goes, well, that is some shit.
Yeah.
Amazing. What kind of edibles did you take before you went to sleep?
Well, you see the scar, don't you, Doc? It is to myself.
Unbelievable.
And I know you do better stitch work than this, so.
He says, I'm going to give you something to help you settle down before the doctor gets here, if that's okay. I don't want you to rip anything. You've been in the car and out of the car and into the car and out of the car. So let's settle you down.
All right, then I'm just gonna lean back and just, I guess, have like a false sense of safety of where I'm at right now, but knowing that it's always fleeting.
He's humming to himself with his back to you as he gets a hypodermic ready, and he turns to you, and it's an old style hypodermic with the little rings around for your fingers. He's tapping it, and you can see liquid squirting out of the top. He goes, this won't hurt very much at all, and you feel real good afterwards. And he leans in and pushes the needle in you, and you feel the whatever's in it go into your body, and you begin to fade into unconsciousness again, which is probably pretty pleasant right now.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Moose has been in this chair more times than he's wanted to, probably.
Fair. Alrighty, and so back to Booker. Booker, you are driving your hearse, and you seem to have been successful so far. You're almost at the hospital. I need one more drive roll from you, please. As another car swerves in front of you, trying to get to the exit lane that's 2 lanes over. And they
That's a
apparently hadn't
47.
planned to do it until just now.
That's a 47.
And what's your drive skill at half?
10.
Alrighty, so yeah, they pull over and you actually hit their back quarter panel as they're pulling into you, and that causes you to begin to wander off the road, and you end up in a ditch. Do you have a seatbelt on your hearse?
Yes, of course.
Okay, all right.
Is it for the
So,
dead body?
He's not carrying a dead body, although
Those
I like
are
that.
those are called ratchet straps.
Oh,
Fair enough. Fair enough. And so you basically you hit the steering wheel, airbag deploys, and you take 1 hit point of damage, Booker. But you are semi-conscious. You can tell there's blood streaming down your head. Your shirt feels a little wet, like maybe your wound opened up a little bit from this impact. But you do see that police are pulling up to the scene. Apparently somebody reported that driver beforehand, and they will take care of getting you to the hospital.
Okay.
It'll just take a few minutes while they get all the emergency services vehicles there. Tom Jones, you wake up at the hospital.
Oh, thank God.
We'll come back to you in a sec. I think the only person I left who's not at the hospital is Gary. So we're going to go with Booker here. Booker, they take you to the hospital. And so each of you, your experience at the hospital is very similar, and you're in and out of consciousness due to your wounds as well as anything they may be giving you. And you hear the beeping of the monitors. You can see they're all very concerned. They've never seen anything like this. The nurses are all aflutter. They're giving you pain pills. They're giving you shots to help you settle down. They're talking to you about what you're doing. They look incredulous. Tom, what are you telling your nurse? It's a guy named Levon, and he's looking at you. He says, well, what happened to you exactly?
So to start, considering everything that I saw before the accident, I'd probably start by waking up and just going, ladies.
They are not present.
Oh, no, of course not. But, that's just, totally out of it. It's just, at this point, it's just blood and eyeliner. Yeah, and at this point, it's what happened to you? It'd probably be like, I was in a room with very small people, and then I woke up, and then I passed out again. And then I woke up again, and now I'm here. And I was in a car accident, and it might have been my fault, but it's also the problem of boobs. And yeah, just the whole time, he's just, it's very disjointed.
Levon goes, don't I know it? Man, drivers are boobs for sure. He says, it sounds like you've been through some stuff tonight.
Hey, that's what you get for going out on a Wednesday. Friday? Where am I?
It's Friday.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, I'm Tom.
he's taking your pulse. We're going to move over to Gary. Gary, you are being moved into the ER on a gurney when you come back to consciousness, having passed out for a few moments. And you also are surrounded by medical staff. You have a nurse looming over you who has a charge nurse name tag, meaning she is in charge of a nursing team. And her name is Mrs. Booker, also like yours, but she is, of course, a Black woman. So she is probably, I don't know, Gary Booker, are you Black, white, Asian? What are you? That didn't occur to me to ask that question.
He's white.
Okay. So probably not of your family, but a funny, ironic twist that the same name as you.
Mom?
Oh no, dear. No, she pats you. She goes, you're hallucinating, or there's some, no, I'm not your mom. I'm Nurse Booker. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you.
Have you ever seen the movie Willy Wonka?
She goes, isn't that the one with all the little people dancing around?
Yeah, you would have seen it, wouldn't you?
Aren't those what are they? The Hoompa Loopers? Okay.
What'd you call me?
A looper hooper.
Steve Irwin,
Yes.
you are wheeled in after the money's been exchanged. They do give you what appears to be $20. I need you to make me an intelligence roll. You're at full intelligence. That has not been affected.
No.
Yeah, they gave you half.
Sweet. Yeah, well, I'm sure the medicine's not helping with the counting.
That's probably true too. Yeah. And lastly, Moose, you see for a moment of consciousness the other doctor come in, and all of you have a very similar experience at this point in that the medical staff at your various facilities are concerned. They're looking after your care. They're taking vital signs. You can hear them talking about what's gone on. And you also hear someone say, hey, look, this is just coming in from the CDC. And you feel a pinprick in your arm as you're given a sedative, and your eyes begin to close, and you fade into unconsciousness again. And that is a great time to take a break. Also, don't forget to have to vote in the chat to have an impact on the rest of the investigation.
Yeah, and we appreciate it, guys, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. So hey, real quick before we get back into it, remember that Modern Overhead Games Epic is still giving a awesome giveaway to you guys. So make sure you type !Epic in the chat because the raffle is live. Remember, if you're put into the raffle, you have to be in the show because our staff will get in contact with you through Twitch. And if they can't get in contact with you in the chat, they will have to give back to you or give the prize to someone else. So make sure you guys stay active and stay to the end of the show. And back to you, David.
All righty. Welcome back, everybody. You made your votes in chat in the first part of the show, and things happened. And now in the last part of the show, you'll have 2 opportunities to vote again and make more happen. And the votes that you make may, in fact, change the destiny of these poor victims of what appears to be some sort of urban hoax. Before we went on break, the assembled cast all had a terrible dream of sleep paralysis. And when they woke, they found that they were all the victims of some sort of abduction and medical mutilation. They have found their way with a great degree of difficulty to the emergency rooms and were all sedated in order to prevent them from hurting themselves. And so as we open our next part of the show, that is where we are. As the darkness of unconsciousness begins to lift, your eyes once again detect shadowy figures above you and the sound of medical tools clanking on a metal slab. I need everyone to make a sand check. Thumbs down if you missed, thumbs up if you made. All righty. So if you made, there is no loss. If you missed, it's 2 points of sand, and I will track that for you. So that'll be Moose and Tom. Alrighty. As you wake up, you hear someone shouting, and you see a man jerking around in his bed. Gary, you wake up with a nurse looming over you. It's Nurse Booker, and she's pressing down on your shoulders and shouting, "Hold still, you tear your stitches, hold still." And you hear similar shouts around you. And looking around, you see a collection of several people who are all kind of jerking and spasming out of what appears to be a slumber. You realize that you are all in an examination room. What do you wish to do? We'll start with Gary. Booker.
Umpa-lumpa-dumps. Where am I? Where are you? Who are you? Mom? Who are you?
She says, I'm Nurse Booker still. Don't you remember you were trying to talk about Willy Wonka?
What's happening? Who are you? Where am I?
We're at a facility in Knoxville. We were asked to evacuate you there, to medevac you there. I'm sorry. The CDC made the request.
Why does CBC make requests? I am fine.
She
I had the
looks at you, she
prescription.
goes, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. It's very irregular, but they've been very good to us so far. There are other people here too who they look kind of like what happened to you.
This is all a big misunderstanding. Call Dr. Patel. She called in my prescription to CVS.
Well, they've got, she pulls out a piece of paper and unrolls it and says, she actually gave clearance, and apparently she's sending your medical records to them. So they must have got in contact with her themselves.
I knew it. She's working with the little people. Are you?
I haven't seen any little people. I haven't seen any.
Where am I?
I'm still. You just need to rest. Bless your heart. You've been through a lot. This has been a very difficult day for you. Just rest.
Check your blessings.
Steve Irwin, you're in another bed.
Steve is going to punch and say, "Get away from me, you pygmy!"
The woman looming over you takes a punch to the head, and she goes, "Ah!" and slaps you. She appears to be probably almost 50, and her name says Edith Nelson. Her name tag says. She goes, "Don't punch me. You calm down. Calm down."
Oh, I'm sorry. I was having a nightmare about pygmies. They captured me. Wait.
You mean You mean small pigs, the ones that the kids buy these days?
No, the short little people.
Oh, okay.
Pygmies.
I'm not familiar with them.
Where am I?
But you need to calm down. We're here in a clinic in Knoxville. You need to calm down so that you don't rip your stitches and hurt yourself even worse.
Did they restitch it?
You look at it. You're in a gown, so you can.
But
Yeah, you're in a medical gown, so you can move it over and look, though you'll expose yourself to her.
I don't really care.
Okay, you look at it. Yeah, it looks like it's been well stitched with medical grade sutures.
I'm sorry I punched you in the head. It wasn't. I was having a nightmare.
She goes, I understand, dear. It's been a difficult day for you, for sure. We'll go over to Tom Jones.
Okay.
You wake up to the scene as described. What do you do?
Probably if jerk away could just be like, I don't know, space drug mule. Not again. Not a third time.
So the person who is looming over you looks at the other nurses and says, I think you all are wrong. I do not think this is Keith Richards.
But you know what? You know what I do have that Keith Richards doesn't have? A complete lack of insurance. Joke's on you. I'm dizzy.
She says, are you feeling okay?
I feel very comfortable. I don't know what's in this bag, but I feel great.
She says, yeah, that'll help you. It'll rehydrate you, and it'll also, it has some pain stuff in it, as well as some antibiotics. So you've been through a lot. Just take it easy, rest easy. Don't do any crazy stuff. I've seen your act, so no splits or anything like that.
Oh, but that's my closer. That's fine. It's my money maker. My lips are weird. Where's my car?
So she leaves you be, and the three nurses have already gone over, and they're at a little countertop, and they appear to be filling out chart data on you all. And the fourth person in the room right now, there's one empty bed, but there's a fourth person, and he appears to be a white male who has a flat top head, flat top haircut. Looks to be probably in his late 40s, and he's got kind of a lot of wrinkles on his face, as if he spends a lot of time both smiling and screaming and just being angry generally. And his nurse finishes with him and warns him to stay down, or that they'll have him restrained. And he immediately sits up, and she says, orderly. And a man who's been standing in the corner in a orderly's outfit steps over and begins restraining him, begins setting the straps to keep him down. And the orderly's like, you need to stay down. You're going to hurt yourself. We don't want to have any of that. So stay down. If you don't stay down, I'll make you stay down. This can be tighter. And when he finishes that, the guy walks back over to the door. And the nurse also goes over to the station and consults with the other nurses as they're filling out paperwork. It looks like they've got a large stack of paperwork that they're filling out. You're not really sure what it all is. But the guy that they strap down looks over, and he looks over at Gary, at Booker. He says, hey, psst, psst. Is this your first time? Is this your first time being abducted? It's happened to me dozens of times. We'll be fine, though. They probably just want some tissue samples. Gads, I hope they don't want to do an orifice probe like the Alpha Centauruns did. That was rough stuff. How many times have you been abducted?
They did the butt thing for you?
Yeah, they've got a probe. It's like on the end of a long stick, and the end of it looks kind of like this.
I mean, I've heard stories, but this is my first time. Who are these people?
I don't know. They're other abductees. No, they're other abductees, I guess. All right, he turns and looks at you, Steve Irwin. Are you an abductee too?
No, I'm just very pissed.
Fair.
I don't like being here. I don't like being in Nashville or wherever the hell we are. And
how about you, Keith Richards? He looks over at Tom Jones.
Uh-huh.
You've been abducted before?
I mean, wait, in what sense? Because, like,
Well,
I've
that
been
one-
bundled into a van before, some people I've owed money to, but, like,
Yeah, it starts that way. Often.
Yeah.
It often starts that way.
yeah,
Look,
but, like,
I think,
yeah.
yeah. So I think we'll be okay. I bet this whole operation is being run by Hitler's brain. It's probably in a jar down, on the first floor in the basement. We need to get out of here, though, before the stormtroopers arrive. The Gestapo, they're the worst. Do you think we can escape through the windows?
I think this guy's crazy.
I know he's crazy.
I think I worked in a bar called Hitler's Brain. Also, the windows are exactly what they would expect.
So you do have one big window in this office, this examination room. To give you an idea, the examination room is probably about 30 by 30, and there are 5 beds in it, as well as a door into it, which is currently closed, and some cabinetry, some pretty bog standard medical cabinetry up against the wall where the nurses are currently working. On the opposite wall, closest to you, there is a window, but looking at it, you do notice that it has that security chicken wire fused into it as part of the window. So it's definitely high security. And on the outside of this particular one, there's actually that security chain link that they put on windows in areas where they're worried someone's going to break in during off hours.
Sure, this isn't a prison.
You see a silhouette pass by the door. Everybody make me a spot hidden.
I got a 95.
Nice.
I got a good success.
Okay. Tom Jones?
Yeah,
Okay.
55
So
out of
Steve
25.
Irwin. All right. So Steve Irwin, you see a silhouette pass by the door. Looks to be probably an average size human male. Looks like he might be carrying a rolled up umbrella or something over his shoulder. You only see it for a moment, so it's hard to tell.
Is it raining outside?
You look out the window, it does not appear to be raining.
Hey, I don't like this. Are we covered with a sheet or anything, or is it just we're in the
You have a sheet over you, as well as the medical gown. The guy leans in, Steve, and says, "Did you see that silhouette that just passed the door? It looked like
the
it
guy
had a
with the
rifle
umbrella.
over its shoulder." No, it's a rifle. It looked like a rifle. Didn't it look like a rifle to you?
No, it looked like an umbrella to me.
What kind
I've
of
seen a
why
lot
would
of
someone
rifles.
carry an umbrella?
This is
there
probably
some
gonna
secret
rain.
umbrella? Is there a secret umbrella that's a weapons program, maybe? Oh my God,
Sure.
the Umbrella Academy could all be true.
It's a good
Oh
show.
my goodness.
Sir, what
Well,
year do you think it is?
This year?
All right. Ask and answer.
It's
please.
2018. And it is. He says, well, look, buddy, you keep a stiff upper lip. I survived a free cruise in the Bermuda Triangle. I'm your good luck charm.
I mean, I've never
My
run
good
a
luck
cruise.
charm is where's my monkey's paw?
It's not there.
And I'm looking for my man person monkey's paw.
They are not there.
That's the weirdest euphemism I've ever heard.
Where's
All
my
right.
monkey's paw?
My man
So you
person, my
have
monkey.
just a few moments to interact if you wish to, but if you wish to sit there quietly and not draw attention, that's okay too. What do y'all wish to do? The nurses are still in the room. The orderly is still in the room. The guy that you have said is crazy is just looking around with wide eyes. He's like taking it all in. You can see he's like a caged wombat. He's looking for an exit space.
The older gentleman is strapped down, right?
Yes, he is.
But we are not.
You are not.
Okay. Well, I want to stand up.
He wouldn't sit still. That's why.
I want to stand up.
The nurse comes running over. No, you'll
No,
tear the
I
stitches.
gotta
Sit.
No, I gotta poop.
Harold, come help me get him down. And the orderly walks over.
Harold,
and
don't
goes,
make
"You
me
need to
poop
sit
on
down, sir."
you.
I think it's very unlikely that you poop. They gave you a drug that's going to constipate the hell out of you. You probably won't poop for 3 days. It just feels that way. Lay down, buddy.
You don't know
hurt
who
yourself.
my colon is.
No, I don't. I do not know your colon. I'll go on the record and say that. But you need to lay down.
I do it, but I pout about it.
Fair enough. As you
There's
begin to
Norman.
pout,
Norma. Yes, it was Norma, right?
she comes walking over, cocks her hand on her elbow, goes, yes.
Where's my monkey's paw? My capuchin monkey paw.
I believe we have all your stuff in the appropriate bags, and it's in the intake office elsewhere in the building.
Where's that?
I didn't pay attention when I came in. I was paying attention to you.
Well, thank you
You're
for
my
that.
patient.
If you could find out where they put my monkey's paw, I'd be very, very happy.
I will be glad to ask about that. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So at that point, the door opens, the door into this room, and a balding, gray-haired white man in his probably early 60s enters the room. He's wearing a lab coat and has a stethoscope around his neck and a name tag that says CDC in big, bold red letters hanging from his lapel. And there are two more orderlies who, one of them pushes a wheelchair with a semi-conscious person in it, and the other comes in behind him. And they lift that person, who is a big-ish human male, up onto the other bed and kind of tap his cheek to see if he's coming around. And Moose, you are in the scene. Although you are a bit out of it.
Listen, you're fucking with the wrong people. Gavney's gonna find you. He's gonna find your dog. He's gonna find your aunt, your uncles. Listen, just if you let me go.
Hey, if Gabby can find my monkey's paw, I'll pay him.
He can get you whatever you want, and how much money you need.
One of the guys leans down and kind of looks up, pulls your eye up to look in your pupil and says, I don't know what you're talking about, but you're here at a medical clinic. You'll be just fine. I don't know who Gabby is, but you'll be out of here soon enough, I think. Doctor's here to talk to you. And he points at the doctor who's kind of standing in the middle of the room, and he's looking at each of you from a distance. And the door closes as the last orderly comes in. The orderly goes and opens the window blinds, allowing more sun into the room. And the doctor looks over at the guy who appears to be crazy, and he addresses one of the orderlies and says, oh no, that will not be necessary. Unbind his straps. He will not need to be restrained. These are our friends. These are not prisoners, although we do not wish them to hurt themselves for sure. He says, good morning. You all okay? You all feeling okay for what you've been through, which is very much not a good thing at all. How are you feeling? He looks over at Steve Irwin. How are you feeling? You look very stressed.
I am very stressed. I'm missing my items.
Ah, yes, you are. On the good news, you don't appear to be missing anything inside you. That's a good thing. Yes.
So it's just cuts.
It seems that way, yes. He says, I wish to introduce myself. All of you are here in this clinic in Knoxville. This is a CDC facility that we use for these kinds of strange operations. We were worried that you might be part of some terrorist activity, or whether you were knowing or unknowing, and so we have brought you here. My name is Dr. Henri Savage. I am the overseeing doctor for this, and I'm very glad to have you here. I'm very glad that you are all in good health. Now, what has happened, you may ask? It is very unusual for one person to suffer from what has happened, but to have 5 of you in one night is unprecedented, quite honestly. We have never seen it before. And so we have put you all here where we can focus our efforts and our diagnostics and our manpower and make sure that you get the best treatment that you can. And so I can tell you a few things just based on the initial screening that we have done. Yes, you are Mr. He goes over he walks close to you and looks at your chart hanging from your bed and goes, Mr. Gary Booker. Yes, sir. Yes, what may I do for you?
Yes, Mr. Scary Professor X.
No, I am
doesn't the
Dr. Henri
CDC
Savage,
normally?
MD.
Okay, Dr. Scary Professor X. Doesn't the CDC normally work in like infectious disease? We all got stabbed.
We thought it was very possible that perhaps you had had some form of bio or chemical thing put into you. We thought you had become a carrier. And so, or that was a possibility. So we thought it best to bring you here where we would not have to worry about 5 of you wandering around in the streets with less than optimal medical care. And he glances over at Tom Jones.
Still just a mess.
So you
said
think we
some-
might have been targeted by bioterrorists?
It's not
That
unusual.
is one of the that is one of the possible scenarios that we have been entertaining as we have considered what has happened this night. Yes. So let me tell you what we know. I can tell you with certainty that you have no foreign objects inside your bodies, and or of metal nature. Plastic we have not checked for. We will do that later. And I can tell you that you, all of your internal organs are in fact present, which was a worry for us that perhaps something had been stolen. So it would seem that the urban legend is just a fanciful, spooky tale. We thought perhaps you had been caught by organ harvesters, but that does not seem to be the case. And anyway, your condition is stable. I expect that we will be able to release you either after about 48 hours of observation, assuming that further testing doesn't reveal any undue effects or undue conditions that we must take further action on. In fact, I can tell you that Mr. Jack Klein, he looks over at Moose, has already been through the first round of testing, and it's all come back just fine, Jack Klein. So you are good to go after 48 hours.
Are we under arrest?
You are not under arrest. You are under observation, and you are under house detainment until you have cleared the observation period.
Okay. That's okay. That's good. Good to know. Thanks, Doc. Thanks for taking care of us.
Glad to do it. We are so glad to take care of your needs. So, as some of you might know, there is more testing to be done, and the folks downstairs are just about ready for the next one. So I believe they will take, and he circles around the room, spins around the room slowly, looking at everyone. That one. And he points at the guy who you say is crazy. And the orderlies pick him up, and he begins going, I knew it, sure. Take the only abductee away. Leave them without leadership. They've got no freaking chance without me, and you know it. Yes, please take that one away. And they take that guy away in a wheelchair, and 2 orderlies remain as the other 2 took him away. So we are very grateful to your respective nurses. They have provided outstanding care, and your hospitals have medevaced you here very quickly. So we will need, however, the chain of custody forms and the release forms done, as the situation seems to be under control. And so nurses, if you will please finish your paperwork and sign those chains of custody, and then we will get you on your way back to your hospitals as quickly as possible. Don't worry about these fine patients, as the CDC will arrange appropriate transportation for them back to their homes. Now, in 5 minutes, 15 seconds, I have a meeting to attend to review some more of your test results, but I'll be glad to answer any questions I can in the meantime. What would you like to ask me? And
Can we have our personal effects?
He puts his hands behind him. He goes, your personal effects, yes, they're in the intake room, categorized so that they would not be lost. Of course, we will give them to you. Yes, I will arrange that.
Thank you.
Next.
I'm gonna need an itemized list, Doc, of the bill.
The bill would be only for the original intake at your hospital, and we might even be able to defray that. You have been brought here by the CDC. We have inconvenienced you, and because of that, we will, of course, take care of all expenses allied to this particular operation. And your source hospital, the hospital to which you originally went, we will see what we can do. If not, you will have to get the itemized list from them. Next.
Tom Jones is just overjoyed to hear like a sigh of relief and just lays back and is suddenly more comfortable knowing that he's not going to have an insurmountable bill.
So why would they cut us if they didn't remove something?
Oh, I do not know. People are very difficult to predict and to understand. Why do you think they would cut you if they didn't remove something? I originally thought they possibly put something in. The removal was not as big a deal to me, but in fact, it looks like neither was done. Perhaps they just like cutting people. Perhaps there is some rogue medical school that wishes to operate on people. I don't know. If you come up with a good idea, I will be glad to add it to our list of potential scenarios. Next.
Have other people come in with similar or any type of beyond the guy who you just took? Has anyone else had any incredible stories, experiences, or inexplicable wounds as of late?
Yes. Next.
Oh, good.
I use my a home physician from a family doctor.
Yes, we are aware. We like him.
How did you guys know, all of us?
The physician that was called in from the hospital actually logged the nature of your injury he did it anonymously. And our CDC information centers picked it up, and we tracked it back to him and explained to him that you were likely a bioterror incident waiting to happen, and he therefore gave us custody of you. We did really think that you might be either a dirty bomb or perhaps a terrible monkey virus, or perhaps airborne Ebola. Who knows what you might have had in you? But when we explained the real danger that you present, that's when he sent you to us.
I'll imagine we should have some kind of compensation for our second abduction from the CDC. Don't you guys think?
I
just want to go home.
I would recommend that something that you take up with the lawyer. I am simply the executable operations arm of the CDC. I do not take care of things like compensation, risk mitigation, or payments to patients. But I assure you that I will oversee the best possible care for you until you leave our fine facility here. Next.
I'm good.
1 minute 45. Anyone else? Very well. I appreciate you giving me back 1:33. That is extra time I can do things with. As I said before, you will be well taken care of. The nurses, you will come with me and you will sign the paperwork. If you wish to say goodbye to your various charges, feel free. I know that you have been through quite a lot with them, and we shall go. I bid all of the rest of you the best of times here in this difficult situation until such a time as we can let you go. Adieu. And he spins on his heel and begins walking out. The nurses each come to you individually, and they check you. They take a last pulse reading. They whisper some nice words of consolation to you. Nurse Booker leans in, and she says, well, dear, I think you'll do just fine. This has been a very, very difficult time. And she pats your hand, and as she does so, she leaves a note in your hand that's folded up. And she walks away and grabs the charts and such and walks out along with the other nurses.
Bye, Mom. I'll miss you.
All the nurses leave, as do the two orderlies. They close the door behind them and make a hear noise, please, everyone. This is a normal roll because your ability to hear is not impacted.
No.
Oh, sorry. Yes, listen, my mistake.
I'm 10 over.
Okay. Sholem, you made?
Oh no, I'm missed by a lot.
Okay. Moose?
Oh, nice. That's a 3.
All right. Very good. Tom Jones.
Is it?
Yes.
I got a 6.
Tom Jones. All right. Tom Jones and Moose, both of you hear this very, very clearly. As the door closes, you hear click as a lock is locked from the outside. And you are in the room by yourself.
Gentlemen, that guy over there was definitely crazy. I don't think he was wrong entirely.
I was really hoping no one was going to say that because I had that feeling too, and it's been a hell of a day, and it's not what I want to know.
I mean,
why is it nobody trusts doctors with accents?
It's not that. It's that he says that he works for the CDC, and we're all missing the D. Don't look too far into that. None of us were infected. We were cut open, and that's not a disease, nor is it something that the CDC would be involved in. Also, when you're transported to a different medical facility, your nurses don't go with you. There's like a flight nurse.
I've never been flown anywhere in a medevac. You sure about that?
Positive. You should watch more movies.
Oh, you get your information from movies.
Yeah, movies are always right. And I'm going to read the note that my mom left me.
Very good. Psychology roll, Steve Irwin.
Oh. No, not a chance.
Okay. Gary, do you have access to the note? Yeah, it's in the offline picture. It's in the offline document.
I have found it. Okay. Check memorialhospitalonline.org, ARC, MedRex, numbers, HTML, password is that. Important.
There you go. And we are seeing it on screen. Thank you, Omega Control.
So my mom, I know she's not my mom. My mom left me a note, and it is cryptic, and I know that is not good news.
So she left you an address on a computer.
Yeah, but also a password and a lot of numbers.
Yeah. So what you've got is again, this 30 by 30 room approximately with 5 gurney beds in it. It's got some medical cabinetry on the north wall, as well as the door that the doctor left through, as well as all the orderlies. It's got a big window on the south wall that has double security protocols on it. You also have a office door going east, which is just a small wooden door with, again, the security glass on it. But looking through from your beds, you can see it looks like a very small office attached to this room. What does anyone wish to do?
So are we still hooked up to IVs?
You are not. I'm sorry. Your nurses would have actually disconnected the IVs and rolled them out of there. So you are literally free. You have no restraints, no IVs, nothing like that.
Oh, then I'll sit up and put my legs over the side of the bed.
You may do that.
No.
Moose, what were you saying?
Hey,
Okay.
that guy, you said he's abducted? I mean,
We're all abducted.
well, I don't know, babe. Have you guys ever been abducted before?
No,
Not in the way
I
that
have
he meant.
seen
More
a UFO.
this way.
He believed he was abducted by aliens.
Yeah, they're out there. I don't think he's right about this one, but I've seen a UFO, It was 4th of July during the fireworks, but like,
You do know UFOs don't necessarily have little people inside.
so you saw the little people too.
I saw pygmies.
I'm not sure if that's PC. I'm gonna
I
go
also
check the
saw
door.
short-statured individuals, and a very, all right. I don't know about you guys, but like, I'm grateful for this hospital bed and/or gown because for what seems like the last 24 hours, I have just had a very cold ass. Like between like a medical table, a bathtub full of ice, a second medical table, like I can't help but feel like everybody just wants my ass to be like cold.
Well,
Anyone
don't
else?
get up because the gown will open up and expose your ass to the air.
Come on.
I'm gonna say a hypothetical story and just follow on if you guys sound familiar at all. Cold stone floor, medical bed, small people, cutting you open, ice bath.
Yeah,
Yes, fortunately, unlike most pygmies, they didn't cut off my head.
I don't know what the
I-
hell a pygmy is, but
Small person.
The only silver lining I have is the fact that it's not just me. It's not much of a silver lining, but I'll take what I can get.
Is the office door unlocked? I want to go over and jiggle the handle.
You go over and jiggle the handle. It is not unlocked. It appears to be locked.
they locked it when they left. Which,
They locked the door they went through. The office door is actually not the door they went through, but it is also locked from the outside with a key, as if the person perhaps who works in the office locked it before they left the office.
And we need a computer, is what you're saying.
There is a computer on the desk in the office. I will tell you that. You can see it. It looks like an old beat up IBM, early era IBM, like maybe in 386.
And it's the chicken wire glass.
That
What-
is
what-
correct. Yes, sir.
What kind of lock is on the handle? Is it like a modern door lock, or is
It's-
it like a big skeleton key lock?
No, it's a standard like an office building type lock. So it's integral into the door itself. There probably is a skeleton, a master key that like a janitor or somebody might have, but it's a keyed lock.
Is the frame?
All right, we
Oh,
have
both
a
rise.
raid.
appreciate
As
it,
is-
guys. Thanks for the raid.
As this
Thank you.
deadly situation is viewed by more and more people who want to see what happens.
So is the frame wide enough to where I could like shim something into the latch?
You can try. For those of you coming in, we'd like to tell you that these 5 people, these 4 people, all appear to have been abducted, and they look like they have huge scars, as perhaps their kidneys have been taken. But they're told by the medical professional on the scene that's not the case. They are suspicious and trying to get out of this room, though, this clinic. And so, Gary, Booker, what do you want to do? You want to try to shim the door open?
Yeah. Could I use like my IV needle?
They took the IV. They took the IV. If you
Are there
remember,
any other medical supplies in the room?
there is a medical supply cabinet against the north wall.
Should I look
Is it
for, like,
locked? I'll try it. Is it locked?
It is locked, yes, but it's just a cabinet lock. I mean, the difference between a cabinet lock and like the office door lock is like significantly less.
So you want to get in this?
I would like to. I want to try to get into that office over there and look up whatever my mom gave me.
All right. Do the beds have the bars, the sidebars that come up, and are they permanently attached?
The beds are not permanently attached; they're on wheels, and they do have the sidebars. Yes, sir.
But are the sidebars permanently attached, or can you remove those?
They are attached with a series of mechanics, so you could mechanical things, so you could definitely remove them, given some time and some effort.
My concern is that we're not here for purely beneficial reasons. I know the government isn't known exactly for their charity in wiping our medical bills. I think we might be on the docket for some experimentation.
I'd prefer not to stay here.
I mean, worst case scenario, we're just crazy and we go home. Best case scenario, we avoid our insights being experimented with again.
I'm not running the risk of a government medical bill. Absolutely not. Like,
Right.
you can, yeah.
I will give the cabinet a hard pull, see if it will move at all.
Alrighty, and that'll
Like,
be
is
it's mounted to the wall, but you can attempt to just pull the door right off.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
So that will be a strength check, and you are at half. Remember,
I got a 27. I need a 25. I'll blow a couple of luck points.
alrighty. You it seems to be holding firm, and then you manage to put a little extra oomph into it and pull it off. And so you basically pull the hinges out of the fiber, the OSB that it's made of on the inside. You do, however, take 1 point of damage from the effort.
Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
I'm gonna look out the window real quick.
Okay. What you see is a brick building approximately 15 feet away. It looks like it's a couple stories high because you don't really see the skyline much. And you see it's an alley. I mean, if you look real, like if you lean hard against the window to look one way or the other, you can definitely see a street probably about 60 or 70 feet up the alley, and you do see a car go by.
How many floors are we off the ground?
It looks like you're on the second floor.
I'm just gonna start those sheets that we are over us.
Mm-hmm.
While they're doing this, I'm gonna start tying those sheets together.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You start doing that, making a prison rope.
What's in the cabinet? Anything?
Okay. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the cabinet. There are, let's see, there's a bunch of gauze. There's Band-Aids, cotton swabs, cotton pads, medical tape, antiseptic packets, smelling salts. There's some mercurochrome. There are no sharp objects or tweezers. And you can see the way the cabinet's laid out. It's obvious to you that a lot of stuff has been removed en masse from this cabinet that normally is in here. So the cabinet's been run through and scrubbed, basically.
Anything with any weight to it? Doesn't sound like it. But...
Make me a luck roll.
Okay. I don't know what my luck is now, so we'll find out. I rolled a 71.
You don't find anything in there with any weight to it of significance. The closest thing you find is a blood pressure cuff. So it's got that little gauge on it and a rubber hose you could swing it from, but there's not much there.
Basically, first aid supplies in here, guys.
So like a fire extinguisher in the room?
Not in the room, no sir. Typically, fire extinguishers in a office building would be in hallways where they have access from multiple places.
If you really want to get through the door, we can use the bed, but it's going to make a lot of noise.
Maybe
Listen checks, everyone. Listen checks, everyone.
93.
Thumbs up if you made it, thumbs down if you didn't. All right, Sean's unsure.
Right, yeah, I got my sleeve got stuck. I couldn't get the arm up.
So you will all hear this as it gets closer, but Moose hears it when it's far enough out that he can actually give some guidance if he wishes to. Moose, you hear what sound like booted feet walking up the hallway towards in this direction. And by booted, I don't mean women wearing, fashion boots. I mean like men wearing like hunting boots or something like that.
There's someone coming. What are we doing, guys?
I'll just watch the door, see if they come in.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand near the door. Is it opening in or out?
It opens in towards you.
Okay, then I'm gonna stand on the back side of the door. So when it creates that pocket doorway,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand there, and by now I probably have one sheet rolled up, and I'm just gonna have that one sheet with in my hands.
I'm gonna lean against the wall to block the broken cabinet.
Okay.
If I look
Booker?
out the little window, does it look like he's coming to the room or he's just walking by?
So you can't see because the window to the hallway is actually frosted glass, even though it is security glass. So it lets in light, but it doesn't let in actual a visual image.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna try to get his attention. Maybe he'll open the door,
Okay, what are you going to do?
knock on it, and say, "Hello, hello,
Okay.
anybody out
Alrighty.
there?"
Alrighty. Tom Jones, you doing anything?
I'm gonna sit on the edge of the bed. I'm gonna throw the blankets aside, and I'm also gonna toss the gown aside, so I'm just fully out. And
Okay.
so that way I can be some form of distraction if we need it. The second someone opens the door, they're gonna see that. They're gonna have a minute to sort of react to that, so we can react to them.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you. So the person comes to the door. He hears Booker making a sound, and you can see his head leans against the frost, leans close to the frosted glass, the frosted security glass. And Gary says, Booker, since you're right there making noise, you can hear when the radio goes. Sounds like they're really active in the room. Might have to escalate the timetable. I'm not sure. Not sure they're going to be well behaved. And
He's
you hear-
seizing. He's seizing out. He's seizing out.
and
I'm
you
gonna point
hear
at Tom
a
Jones.
voice. You hear a voice on the other side of the from the other side, from the receiver, the radio says, "Roger that." And then the silhouette walks past your door, and its boot steps. It's the footsteps disappear from your hearing very quickly, like after just a few seconds, indicating maybe he's gone beyond another door or something, into an elevator. It's hard to say.
All right, so we need to get out of here. Is that what we're hearing?
I just yelled that he was having a seizure, and he just said "Roger that" and walked away.
All right.
And there's a timetable.
Yeah.
We have a computer in here. Do you want to check out that note while we'll try to figure out a escape plan?
We have a computer in here. I thought it was in the
No, it's in
office.
the office. You've got to get through a locked door to get to it.
No, we'll use one of the beds to ram it. But at first, I'm going to take off my gown and wrap it around me like a kilt, because frankly, it's easier to wear that way,
Okay.
and it's not going to be flapping around getting caught and stuff.
Okay.
All right, well, you try and ram it open, but it's going to hurt.
Oh, but before we make a lot of noise, I'm gonna try to take one of the beds and assemble it in a way that it's gonna block the main door. Give us some time.
So you're just basically moving it over to the door to try to put it against the door so it takes longer to get in?
I'm gonna try to actually almost like tip it over in front of the door so it's not rolling anymore.
Just put the brakes
Okay.
on.
Alrighty. So Moose, as you are beginning to get the bed into place, you see a silhouette outside the door, and you can hear the tumblers to the lock turning over.
Have I already flipped the bed over yet?
Nope,
All right, then
you
we'll
have
push-
not. You were getting ready to.
I'm
You
gonna
can either finish the job, or you can try to get out of the way, or you can stand there, whatever you prefer to do.
I'm gonna push the bed away, and I'm gonna go back in the position I was before with the bed sheet.
Okay, so the door, you hear the lock open, and the door comes open just a little bit, and you hear the silhouette. You can see it standing there. Sholem, you were back over at the cabinet, is that correct?
No, actually, I was pushing a bed across the room, and when the door
You
started
were
open, I
across
go,
the other
I
door."
want the window. And I pushed the bed over by the window.
Okay. Booker, where are you at?
Just kind of standing in the middle of the room while everybody was doing everything.
Okay. Tom Jones, you still reclining in all your splendor?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, it's a close eye on the door, like ready to spring to action, but sort of, but very, very much like just awkwardly naked, like just
Okay.
nobody else is comfortable except him.
Okay. So you hear Moose, because you're closest to the door, you hear a quiet voice that says, I am not here to hurt you, but you need to be quiet and you need to leave me be.
I trust him.
Can I come in, or am I going to lock you in and walk away?
I'm gonna like put a hand up to Moose and being like, cool it. Yeah, you come in.
All right. You see a figure squinch through the tiniest opening of the door that he can do so without opening the door anymore. And he closes the door quietly behind him. What you see is a muscular, but not buff, right? So he's tight, but he's not like Schwarzenegger or anything. African-American man, probably about 35, with a tight afro. And he has a clipboard held in front of him with his other hand behind the clipboard. And he kind of looks over at you, Moose, and says, look, I need some room. This is very irregular. Oh, and he's dressed like a doctor. I forgot to say that. He has a lab coat on and has a doctor's ID, and it says endocrinology, Dr. Smith.
I'll take a half step back and just, everything about this is pretty irregular.
He says, yeah, I agree. I'm not sure what's going on here yet, but look, I need, he points at the clipboards that are hanging from the end of every one of your beds. He says, I need those. I've got to get that information out of here.
Sure. Go and get the
Can you
clipboard.
he looks at you, Booker, says, can you please gather those up? Put them all on one clipboard for me.
All right.
And why do they put us in such a terrible facility? I mean, look, the cabinet's even broken.
He glances at the cabinet. He goes, I don't know. I don't know much of anything about this. I'm sorry for what's happened, but I'm not responsible. Moose, make a spot hidden, please.
Oh, made it by one.
All right.
Nice.
It's clutch, very clutch. Moose, you see he has a 9mm of some sort behind the clipboard in his hand. And with your spot hidden, you can definitely see it has a suppressor on it.
Right. Let me just get these clipboards together for you. Nice doctor. I assume you're going to leave the door open for us.
He gestures, he with his head, he gestures to the counter next to him. He says, just put it there, please.
I'm gonna say like, hey, we apologize. I'm Jack, by the way. I'm gonna put my hand out to shake his hand.
He says, I can't shake your hand. And when you do that, let's see if he figures out what you're up to there.
They're awful twitchy.
It does seem twitchy, yes. He seems nervous. When you reach out to shake his hand, he kind of steps back, and he does look a little bit nervous. He drops what's in his left hand so that you all can see he's holding what appears to be a Glock with a suppressor. And he says he's holding it at ready, but not threateningly, right? Psychology roll from all of you. Thank you very much for nervous audience that has made this encounter quite different than it usually is.
No.
Does anybody get the positive psychology roll? Okay, so Booker, you get the sense that shooting any of you would not be his first choice by any means. But he's ready to do it. It's just not what he wants to do, but based on his body language. He reaches over and grabs a clipboard that Booker has put on the counter. And he looks at Moose. He says, hey, Jack, is that what you said your name was?
It was Jack. Why? What's with the gun?
I need you to step away. I need you to step over there. And he gestures towards where Booker is.
How far away am I from him right now?
You're probably about 5 feet.
Okay. And he said, is he at the up ready or down ready?
He's at the medium ready. He's definitely not pointing at the floor. He's ready to use it. That is
the barrel is at my chest right now. So okay.
Generally, yes.
Okay, then yeah, I'll take a step back then.
he puts the clipboard under his lab coat, back behind his trousers, like slips them into his pants and where the belt is, so he can carry it without actually having to carry it. And he looks at all of you and says, "Look, I'm really sorry for what's happened here, and I don't know what the future holds for y'all. But I can't give you any more help than what I'm about to give you. And if you somehow find a way out of this hellhole, I wish you all the best, and I'll be praying for you for sure." But he pulls out of his pocket a pair of car keys and throws them to you, Jack. And then he says, "I can't let you. I got to lock the door. The security guards check it every time through. If I don't lock it, they'll be here in about 3 minutes. And they'll be right in here on you. And then it'll be a firefight, and y'all ain't got no goddamn chance of a firefight right now. So good luck." And he opens the door with his free hand and begins stepping through it and says, "Really, I wish I could do more. And if I get the chance, I will. But take care, y'all." And he
Before you
closes
go,
the door.
I was gonna say two
Go
things
ahead.
before
He
you
stops
go.
for a second.
There's one. What's your name, friend?
Marcus.
Marcus. I'll remember that. Second thing, from one good-looking man to another. It's a nice Glock you got there, if you know what I mean.
Thanks.
All right. Have yourself
Thanks.
a good night.
I wish I brought an extra. I'd give it to you, but I may need to I may need to shoot my way out of this goddamn place.
I'm gonna just say, hey Jack, I understand, and I'm gonna, if I can, I'm just gonna say one last thing, and I want to put I want to show him that I want to put the sheet in between the door and the hinge. So the
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah,
So between the door and the hinge?
not the hinge, but the little locking mechanism, so it doesn't go into the
handle.
actual. Thank you.
So,
I'm trying to say words right now, and it's time.
that's fair. So you do that, and he pulls the door shut, and you can hear him jimmying with the door, and you hear the deadbolt go back in. That trick is great, except if it's a deadbolt, because a deadbolt will actually set back where it is. If it's just one of those spring door locks, yeah, that's great. Good idea, but in this particular case, no.
Does the door to the office open into our room or out?
It opens into the office.
Okay. We have almost no time.
You hear footsteps coming up the hallway again after about a minute.
Gonna sit on my bed.
Okay.
Like a good
Please
little
note,
boy.
Marcus was quite quiet when he approached you. You did not hear him coming towards the office, and you don't hear him leave. When he closes the door, you don't hear him at all. Okay, so the footsteps come to the door. You see once again a silhouette leans close to the door and is apparently listening. Is anybody going to do or say anything to get its attention?
Not
I'm
me.
gonna bang on the door.
Okay, you bang on the door. Once again, you hear, this is a different voice this time, a different person. Appears to be a woman. She says, "Yeah, the room seems mostly quiet, but they've got somebody banging on the door. I'm not sure what's up. They definitely haven't settled down. So yeah, I think probably we need to move pretty quick. It's I think they're not quite as subdued as we thought they were." And you hear from the radio here, "Roger, copy that." And then the footsteps once again walk past.
As soon as it's quiet for a count of 30, I'm gonna just take and ram my bed into that door.
Okay.
Not into the office door to try and burst it open.
Okay. That will require a strength roll at half your strength at disadvantage.
Oh God.
Can I help him do that?
You may, in which case it's at normal roll for both of you.
So the half.
Or you can roll, one of you can roll at advantage. It's your call. You want to talk about it?
Sure. Moose, you're probably bigger than me.
Yeah,
I'm a little out of my prime, but I'll help.
Yeah, you do the count, I'll do the push. On your go.
Okay. One.
Alrighty, so
Two, three.
Moose, you're going to get one roll at half strength at advantage.
Okay, so 75 halved. Would that be put at
We're going to
What?
put that at 35, 34, 38.
38?
I'll give you the benefit of the extra point.
All right. I'm gonna burn 3 luck to make that.
Alrighty, nice.
I rolled a 41.
Nice.
Good call on the luck
Alrighty.
spending.
So you basically hit the door really, really damn hard, and it makes a terrible bang when you hit it. Sholem, you were helping him, right? You were
Yes.
part of the push, right? Okay. So Sholem and Moose, both of you take a hit point of damage from the
Alright.
strain as your cut kind of opens up a little bit, and you're feeling really uncomfortable. And both of your gowns have a little bit of blood on the front of them showing where you're doing some bleeding. The door doesn't completely open, but you have gotten it far enough open that you think you might be able to try to get the lock open at advantage at this point because the lock has been compromised.
Well, there's some things that could be used for lockpicks in the cabinet.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
good at that myself, but
Hey,
There's
Tom-
not much in the cabinet.
well, there was some tweezers.
No, I said there aren't any tweezers.
Oh, there aren't any
There's nothing
tweezers.
sharp in
Oh,
there.
my mistake.
Yeah, you'll
I've
have to
got the
find something, maybe
keys.
like a spring or a piece of wire or something. What?
So we have the keys.
Yeah, whose key? Are those my keys, by the way?
They are not your keys. They are the keys to what appears to be a Chevy Nova,
Is there a ring on it?
1983 Chevy
Like
Nova.
a key loop ring?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's got a peace sign on it.
Well, why don't we pull that apart and straighten it out?
Yeah, I'm actually
Sure.
just gonna. I'm gonna take the ignition key off. Of
Okay.
it and totally. I'm also gonna run. I'm gonna give that to you, Steve. I'm then gonna run over and I'm gonna band-aid that key to myself under my gown.
Fair enough. Okay.
So I'm
Good
gonna put
idea.
it.
Better than
I'm
what I
gonna
was
put it.
preparing.
I'm gonna put it under my. Yeah, I'm not gonna keister it.
Prison
You
wallet.
Yeah,
you could torso it since you currently have an aperture to.
We do have
I
we can
do.
put a zipper in.
I'm gonna put it right on my breastbone. So it's right over where the advantage is.
Okay, fair enough. So Sholem, you are taking the keychain apart to get something enough to make a lockpick type.
Yeah,
thing?
so it's got the ring. I'm gonna try and straighten out the ring as best we can. Although I
Okay.
have a feeling
Make
that
me a-
Tom Jones is better at this than me.
Make
seems
me
kinda sleazy.
Make me a strength check to straighten out the ring.
At half,
Yes, sir.
I actually got it at half. I got a 23 and I needed a 25.
Very good. So you managed to bang and hammer and stretch it out until it actually will serve the function. And as you're looking at it, it really hurts your fingers. Like your fingers are all raw, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't actually take any real damage from doing it, which you think is probably a bit of a miracle.
Yeah, well, Yep, that
But
hurt.
you have a functional lockpick.
Tom, get over here.
What can I do for you, boss?
You pick a lock and I hold up the pick.
If we're talking with locksmithing, no. If we're talking with like stealth or sleight of hand, maybe.
Anybody good at picking locks? Moose?
I
Hooker?
watched one guy do it once. I might be able to do it. I'm not great at it, but I got a little experience.
I know how to
Alright.
jibby like antique locks for like old lock boxes.
How about a busted up lock?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll make it easier.
Sure.
Well, so I'll say, does anybody actually have lock picking or locksmith as a trained skill? Have you put any points
No.
into it?
I have 10 points in locksmith.
Okay, so Moose, you've got a shot at this, and I will tell you, you'll be at advantage because of the fact that it's all been busted up by your previous assault on the door. You could also conversely just keep assaulting the door until it's literally busted off its hinges. You're just not sure if you'll get away with that amount of noise over and over and over again without drawing some significant attention.
Yeah, no, I think we made enough noise. If we could do it without noise, that'd be great.
All right. Okay. So
And next time the
advantage-
guard comes by, don't bang on the door.
Actually, hey,
Yes.
Maybe be on the door, but this time be like, hey, we got the guy, conspiracy theorist. He's strapped down now. Sorry about that.
Ooh, are there straps on the beds?
Well, I mean,
There are straps on
they're
the
not
beds,
coming
yes.
in, but maybe we can at least go on the radio and say, oh yeah, the problem's done. Tom Jones, you got a soothing voice. Maybe you can let him know that everything's fine in here, and the crazy guy, we took care of him. Big Brother's taking care of us, and he didn't believe so. And I'm gonna say, but you guys figure it out. I'm gonna need all my focus to do this, and I'm gonna start take a knee and start trying to figure this lock in.
All right. Good luck.
All right.
Can I get the straps off the bed?
Okay. You have 4 straps. All right. So Moose, were you going to go for the lock or were you going to go for the banging again?
I'm going for the lock, and I just rolled a 15.
Okay.
So-
and what is your lockpick skill?
It's a 10.
All righty. So that's that because you've got time and because of the fact that this has already been compromised. It's not the lock doesn't have the integrity it normally would have. We're basically looking for qualitative, which means that tells me how long it's going to take you to solve this. So you're over there working on it, and you hear boots coming up the hall. And you figure you've been at it for the better part of maybe close to 7 minutes, and another guard or whatever those people in the hallway are is coming up the hall. Are you going to continue working on the lock, or are you going to get back into bed, or what y'all going to do?
I mean, there's a broken door open. If they come in here, we're screwed regardless. So at this point, I think I'm just I'm just grinding the tumblers with the with the piece of metal.
Okay,
So
very good.
I'm gonna keep at it.
All right. So it takes you about 3 minutes longer, but you do finally, literally by force of will and perseverance and strength, get the damn thing to turn, and the deadbolt recedes, and you can push the door in. The door, as you're pushing it, appears like it's about to fall. Are you going to let it fall, or are you going to stop it?
Oh no, I'm gonna try to stop it if I can.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you stop it. No problem. It's a little bit of a strain. Make me a luck roll to see if you actually mistakenly hurt yourself doing this.
Taking one for the team.
I rolled an 80, so that's a fail.
Yeah, so you do take one more hit point of damage, as again the strain of reaching out and grabbing the door as it's spinning out of control. You extend yourself.
Steve.
Yeah,
I'm coming up.
Steve.
I'll come help him.
Between
I'll
the
come
two
help.
of you, you can definitely position the door out of the way where it's not a detriment and it's not going to make any noise.
All right.
And you've got a little bit more blood trickling down your apron, Moose.
Hey, Steve, help me move this over to the other door.
Okay.
This will be a hell of a door jam.
Yeah.
And I think it will if we can like pivot. And
Booker,
try to-
computer. Booker,
Yeah.
get on the computer quick. See if there's another
while
way out of
while
that
they
room.
do that, I'm gonna go on the computer.
Can we
Alrighty.
try to put on a diagonal?
Yeah, absolutely.
And shove it into the ceiling to the point where it's like wedged into there, and just try to if they
Wait,
try
sure,
to
we
open the
need to go
door.
out that door. Don't wedge
Well-
it too hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever.
Fair enough. So I've got Gary Booker getting onto the computer and starting it to boot up. Gary, have you ever started an old 386 IBM machine?
If it's old, yes.
Okay, I was gonna say you're in for the best 3 minutes of your life.
While I'm waiting for everything to boot up and stuff, I'm going to be rooting through the drawers, looking for anything useful.
Fair enough. And so in the desk, you find several things. You find 2 ballpoint pens, some scissors, a letter opener made of plastic, but it's hard plastic, a lighter, a pack of cigarettes, a prescription bottle of Valium, a bottle of prescription Vicodin, a box of tissues, and 17 paper clips.
It's Dr.
Now we
Bell
find
here.
paper clips.
Now you find paper clips. There's a seat in front of the desk that looks like it is probably where the client sits. There's a seat behind the desk that's a little bit more beat up, but also more comfortable. That looks like it's wherever the person who works here sits. And there's a poster on the wall that shows a pregnant woman holding her hand on her pregnant tummy, and it says below, it says, "It's your choice." It's
all
your
right,
choice.
well,
This is
I'm
this
gonna
is some
start-
form of privacy center, or this office is.
I'm just gonna start taking some or everything that's in the drawer, trying to put it in my gown, tie it up into a little satchel
Fair enough.
while I'm waiting for everything to boot up.
So it finally gets that boot stage where it beeps. It goes, beep, and it's a loud ass beep. And it probably gives you a little bit of pause. But finally it boots up. And what you gonna do?
I am going to go to the web browser and I'm going to type in the address that's on the note.
Okay. So the machine, when it comes up, actually has password protection on it. It's asking for a password.
I'll try the password that's on the note.
That is not the machine's password.
I'm going to try It's Your Choice.
Okay. That works. Very good. Very good. And yeah, you can access the internet. It comes up with Internet Explorer. I think it was the first version of Internet Explorer that it comes up with. And you are hooked into the web.
The best version.
And yes. And so you go out to that site that you have the address for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go out to that site and it takes several moments for that page to load because again, this is old internet, but this is what you see. Everyone, please go look at okay, you can see it on the Twitch channel if you're watching it. Jack, can you please make that big for just a moment? Okay, fair enough. That's as big as it gets. But this, Mr. Booker, was your medical record. You are the patient in this case.
Patient seen in urgent care room E, unconscious, presented symptoms of shock, fatigue, and heavy blood loss. 17.5-inch roughly sutured scar present on abdomen, running from right hip to left lower rib. Lab work series A and B showed negative findings except for 1.7% variance in blood oxygen content. MRI revealed one non-present kidney. So I'm missing a kidney. Likely removed during the incident. Confirmed visually. Dermal trauma is consistent with internal organ removal. Patient resutured, 2 pints blood plasma, and sedated for transfer. Received CDC order to medevac patient to Knoxville. Complied order with today's dates at 23:03. End notes.
I apologize. The dates on this are wrong. It should have been 18, not 97. Sorry. That slipped through the data integrity unit of control. Me, not our actual control, me.
All right, that's super weird. So we are probably all of us missing our kidneys?
Mike Holland NC, thank you very, very much for subbing.
Thanks.
And we will hope to
Thank you.
entertain you in the future
Heck yeah.
and
Absolutely.
run some of your content.
Yes.
Mike is actually one of our campaign authors from long time ago, as well as a player.
Yep.
And a darn good one.
While I'm processing that, I'm going to try to print this page out. And I'm also going to open up another tab and go into Google Maps and find out our exact location.
Google Maps is not really a thing. Oh yeah, wait, 2018. Yes, Google Maps is a thing. Sorry. This adventure originally took place about 15 years prior, so I have to reset my frame. Okay.
Still
Sorry.
using MapQuest.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, Google Maps is fine.
Didn't Dr. Henri Sauvage say we were not missing any organs?
Yes, he did.
Yes, but he did it with a very suspicious German accent.
Ah, well, yeah, all right. You know, you
So-
do got me there. You got me there. All right.
You and the accents again. I think you're right
Um,
this time, but
Yeah, I've been right all along and everybody's always not believed me.
I'm grabbing a cigarette.
Fair enough.
Is it
Light
an old
one up.
rolling chair that he's sitting on?
Yes, it is.
Ooh. Can I see the chair?
Sure.
Well, I'm actually asking.
I'm
Booker
sorry.
if I
you're
can
asking
have
him.
the
Sorry.
chair.
I was gonna say, yeah, you
sure.
can see it. It's not invisible.
All right, can I get the wheels off the bottom? Are they loose?
Yeah, it'll
Weak?
take you some effort. It'll take you some effort. Go ahead and make me one strength roll at half to see if you do anything during that total operation.
Actually, is it one of those like old rolling chairs, the ones that weigh like 135 pounds?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it has that
Yeah.
massive like back brace bar on it.
Yeah, it's big.
We
Yes.
get actually, I like where you're going, Steve. That metal backrest would probably be useful.
I missed
Did
it by
you make it?
9, but I'm not paying that much luck.
All right. Well, you get the wheels off, but over the course of it, you have strained your stomach again, and you've riched it a little bit more, and maybe one of your sutures has come out, and you do take one more hit point of damage.
Okay. I'll bandage myself up.
Moose, I have to tell you, as you watch that happen, it's kind of painful to watch it happening to somebody else, and your incision actually itches a bit.
I'm gonna like almost unconsciously start scratching it until I stop myself, and then
Okay.
and then
Yeah, it definitely is itching.
I'll just open up the gown and take a look at it.
Okay. Are you doing it in front of everybody?
I
I'm
think
comfortable with that.
I think at this point we've all seen everything everyone's got right now. With all
No
the
secrets.
maneuvering. I mean, I was squatting, picking a lot for 20 minutes. You guys got everything.
I was gonna say,
So,
yeah. I think at this
yeah.
point I'm practically wearing mine like a cape. So like, yeah, like
Did you Moose, I want to reiterate, you did tell me you were putting the key that you were sequestering into the wound shallow.
No,
it's
not
hidden.
in the
No?
wound.
Oh, okay.
So I
Okay.
used the band-aids and the medical to attach it to my skin.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were actually I thought you were prison pocketing it in the wound, which would have been epic.
No, I'm not that hardcore. So I'm using like 6 of those band-aids to basically like get it on my chest.
Fair enough. Very fair. Okay, so you open up your thing and look at it, and man, you've been at this now for what has this been, like a day and a half, 2 days that this whole set of events may have happened, and as you look down at your scar, you realize it's kind of got that look like it's been healing for the better part of 7 or 8 days. Sand loss for everyone, please, or sand check for everyone.
77.
I got a 57.
Okay, Steve is okay. Guy is going to take some sand loss. How about you, Moose?
I rolled 26.
You're good. And Tom, what did you roll?
73.
You are taking. So if you missed it, you're going to take 2 points of sand loss. If you made it, although this is weird, it does not shake your psyche in any way.
Hey guys, check your scars out. These don't look like fresh wounds right now.
Yeah, it does. Mine does.
Everybody else's wound looks normal. It looks like you'd expect it to after it's just been sewn up and it's only 2 days old. And as everyone stares in disbelief at Moose's wound, it's a good time to end today's session.
No.
Yeah, man.
We will pick
Ooh,
this up.
guys.
Yeah.
My side hurts.
We'll cut on a cliffhanger, and as we exit tonight's session, we'll tell you we'll be back again next Tuesday, and we have some announcements.
Yeah, guys. So all of the videos on the Games Tavern, you guys can go on YouTube and check them out. So you have access to all the shows and all the contents. Your likes and positive comments of the videos really help out for the future adventures and show more and more people about the show. So help broaden us and allow us to scare and disgust more people in the future. And then I believe we have a winner control.
Stand by.
Control. Okay. I got contact
Accessing
control.
DJ D20
Internet is
Dem.
slow.
DJ D20 Den. I've said that right. Congratulations. You have won yourself a Modern Overhead Games epic character image generator.
Congrats.
So stick around. Our moderators will be getting in contact with you. So, but everyone else, that was awesome. We appreciate it. And well, I'll hand off to you, David. This is your job. What am I doing?
Well, so Guy's going to take us out at the end, but first I want to say, so we will be running more of these events. Please hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I will tell you that we are running polls before the event to help determine some of the audience choices each week. And so this is a game where you can have some input. And we appreciate the input, and it really makes the game a little bit different for everybody that plays it. So please do look for that right now on Facebook. That's where the polling is happening. Guy, I'll let you take us out of here to the asylum. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm so bad at this.
We'll get there.
We'll start with our newest and youngest. Tom Jones, Sean,
Hey,
tell us where we can find you, what you do.
So yeah, I'm sort of a local burlesque and such sort of circus host kind of thing. I'm basically the easiest place to find me is probably on Instagram under the name Ego Von Hubris, which is my typical stage name. So yeah, a lot of my work and things like that can be found under Ego Von Hubris. But I live in Richmond, Virginia, and having a good time doing this whole thing. So well played.
Very good, Gary. Oh, excuse me, Guy.
You can find me usually here, streaming on the Games Tavern. You could also find me on Twitter at guy_Fody. And yeah.
Very good. Nick.
Yeah, following up with Guy, my home in Earth is the Games Tavern. So I do a lot of DMing, a lot of shows. Also check me out at Twitter at RPG_MixSlayer.
All righty. And my collaborator on this game for over a decade, Sholem
Almost
West.
20 years now, buddy.
I know.
Yeah,
It
so
feels like
my name's Sholem West. I will be running games when David's not. And as a matter of fact, you can see one of the games we ran up on Facebook on the Games Tavern. And this is where you'll find me. I'm also on the Steamrollers Adventure podcast. I do commercials with strange voices. That's about all I have. David.
All righty. And I'm David Quick. I'm the other collaborator on this game. And you can find me online at Twitter, notorious.gmd. And on Facebook, I'm just David Quick. So with that.
Of course, none of
Yes,
this
sir.
would be possible without our Omega Control, our producer, Jack Kelling.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah,
He has
Jack.
done an outstanding job with difficult technical requirements on my part.
And difficult people.
Hey, I get that. Oh, you don't mean it's fine.
No, it's me. It's me.
I've messaged him at least once a week at 3 o'clock in the morning, just saying, "What are you doing?"
What's
So,
up? What you thinking
but
about?
with that, we look forward to seeing you all next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for your support.
Body
Thank you.
horror. Have a great night.
Bye.